le genti che passeranno. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. E le genti che passeranno mi diranno che bel fiore. E questo è il fiore del partigiano. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Questo è il fiore del partigiano morto per la libertà.
Malaki ang tiwala kasi dalawang pala. Tatagos at tatagos, walang halong duda. Wala, kasi nga, deja, yeah, deja. Malaki ang tiwala kasi dalawang pala. Tatagos at tatagos, walang halong duda. Wala, kasi nga, deja, yeah, deja.
Gia, marami nang nagbago, marami na ding nawala. Eto ngayon at nananalo, bangon sa pagkadapa. Mapait man ang leksyon, matamis ang mga aral. Nakalusot pa din kahit madaming tumatapal. Mga harang sa daan, aking niluksuhan. Hindi lahat binabangga kung pwede ka namang makiraan, hindi ba? Excuse me po, siksikan man ang pila, hindi tayo liliko. Ganyan ang mindset.
天上太阳红呀红彤彤哎，心中的太阳是毛泽东哎，他领导我们的解放哎，人民翻身当家做主人，咿呀咿自由呀呀自由啊，人民翻身当家做主人。 天上太阳红呀红彤彤哎，心中的太阳是毛泽东哎，他领导我们奋勇前进哎，革命江山一呀一片红哎，咿呀咿自由呀呀自由啊，革命江山一片红。 天上太阳红呀红彤彤。
I was about to get it. You got it before me. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to the CHEK broadcast. I am new to YouTube Music. You'll have to give me a break while I do this transition into YouTube Music. I also welcome back, Aaron, to the streaming world. Oh my gosh, I thought you would never return. I moved my desk around and started taking my meds, and everything is right in the world again. And also, socialism arrived, and that's what's really got me on a positive kick this winter. I'm so excited. 2026 is the year that socialism arrived, and I am ready to welcome its warm embrace. Socialism shotties, that's right. What were you saying earlier? You said your sub randomly ended. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Prime subs you have to re-up every month. I'm not sure that you can get them to recur on their own, but I might be wrong. But I also wasn't streaming, so that could have been why as well. Why it expired for you. I know that a lot of subscriptions have expired. I think somebody's still got on recurring because it eventually hit $50, and that deposited into my bank account like biblically when I needed it most. I got it like just in time, where I was like, oh my god, I can eat today. They're not so bad if you use the amenities and are completely ignorant of their heinous business tactics and think billionaires should not be able or should be able to exist while their employees live day by day. It's exactly right. It's exactly right. Perfect merch for this, by the way. Thank you. I showed off the class consciousness. I actually I'm down to, I'm pretty sure I only have a large and a medium left. I had this small one, but I took it because I don't know what happened to the medium one that I had. But yeah, it fits pretty nice, pretty snug, and I'm gonna have to make more, I think. And maybe make a new design too. Maybe make a CHEK broadcast. Check this out. News merch. I think that might be kind of cool. That might be in the works. Welcome, Yul. Thank you. You do have to do it manually. Okay, that's what I thought. I was subbed via paying every month on auto renew. Oh, okay. Interesting. Nice. Thank you for the nice. Give me the large, or I'll peep the sizes. Let me cook on merch. Yeah, you can cook on merch. Of course you can. Yeah, we've got a medium and a large left of this. So if you want one of those, you can have one of them. But yeah. So basically, what are we doing here today? Well, as Pulses says, the message is clear. You want to give me your iPad so bad? You're welcome to borrow it, dude. You're welcome to borrow it. Okay. Well, I guess I could start by talking about what I've been up to lately. Or maybe I should wait until somebody asks, like if somebody hasn't been here in a while, or you know, if somebody who is part of the old CHEK community comes in, maybe then I'll drop the lore. Gotta. And if you're watching right now, then just speak up and I'll go through it. I got some books here I've been reading. As you can tell, I got these new glasses, and I'm kind of intellectual now. Your volume is really quiet, by the way. My device volume is all the way up. Okay, I will... That's interesting because I'm like pretty dang loud. The only one here at the moment. That's what you think. That's what they want you to think. So I guess I'll just blast my microphone. It's like it's already in the yellow, so I don't know how much louder I can get. But I'll do it for you. Here we go. Let me remember how nope, wrong one. Let me remember how to operate everything. Let's just bump it up to 12. And how's that? Is that better? I'm peeking in the red now, so yeah. Yeah. How was that? We've had a couple people bounce in and out. This will work well as a VOD anyway. Way better. Way better? Okay. Okay. Good. I'm trusting you on this. I could see it's like it looks like it's dangerously in the red, but if you say it's good then I believe it. So, what's on the agenda for today? Obviously Vivek Ramaswamy and Amy Acton. I admittedly don't know too much about Amy Acton in general. Aside from the fact that I do know that Amy Acton and Sherrod Brown have been blowing up all the fucking advertisements on my Instagram, and they're always asking for money with no policy. I see no policy. I see I'm running. I have all these letters in blue around me, and I'm running in Ohio. Give me money. No policy. And then I see like people like Greg Levy out there posting with PSL and DSA, and they're out in the streets protesting the fascist regime that we have right now, and all the bullshit that's happening in Minneapolis. My system volume is at 75 now, and your volume is perfect. Okay, that works. I like that. But yeah, I see actual grassroots. That's the craziest thing. I saw Amy Acton post, I'm running a grassroots campaign. How is it grassroots if I can't name a single fucking one of your policies? I can't name a single one. That's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be looking up Amy Acton and Vivek Ramaswamy. That's our primary goal today, is to find out what are the policies. What could they possibly be? I don't know. Do you know? Because I don't know. I haven't seen a single put the policies in the bag. Put the policies in the bag. If you can't put the policies in the bag, then you can get fucked. That's how I feel about it. And we're getting right into it. I guess I've been rearing to do this for a while now. I had to prepare things and feel that I was ready to do it. And I guess today was the day that I felt we were ready to do it. But yeah, I might be a little bit pent up, but you know, what are you gonna do? When you're a quirked up white boy, you got to you got to do what you can. Also, Jane is being a little bit devious today. She's knocking things over. I think I've kitty-proofed the basement here, but we'll find out. She might rear her ugly little. Sorry, I was trying to make a reference to the one Steven Crowder, Mr. Hyde rearing his ugly head. It's too much to get into right now, so we'll move on from that. Don't worry about that. But yes, thank you, Little Flower Vagabond, for being here and for moderating for us. I expect that we could potentially see some shitters, as we like to call them here on the broadcast. Some shitters taking little poopies in our chat. So you will be the pooper scooper upper for today. Maybe that's what I'll rename the mod team. Do we like that? Is that good? Can I get a... Anyways. Also, I was thinking about getting a green screen because right now I have my camera kind of facing the rest of the basement, and whenever Ethan's home, I don't want him to like have to avoid like I don't want him to be like in the background if he's walking back and forth or doing whatever, or anything. And also like I have a bunch of wires and like my music setup right here now, and it's just like I don't think it necessarily looks nice, so I think a green screen is in order. So be throwing out some ideas for backgrounds for me if anybody has any good ideas. I'll probably also be doing a revamp of all the graphics on the stream and stuff. Probably a lot more red and yellow and green and black and maybe white. Some of those kind of colors. Some good colors. But let me get I see right here we have Ohio governor race takes shape with Vivek Ramaswamy and Amy Acton. Let's see what this is. This is from I gotta find a by the way, I didn't prepare any specific clips or anything, so I'm kind of going into it blank. So if anybody has relevant links, please link them in the chat, and I'll check them out. But let's watch this here. I have two topics. One, JD Vance x Connor eats pants. Whoa. Really? I saw the Connor eats pants interview with what's his name from California. He's the governor there. Fuck, what's his name? I can usually remember what his name is. California governor Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newscum. The Republican in a blue suit, dude. But yeah, I saw that interview and it was awesome. So we'll definitely check out the JD Vance Connor Eats Pants interview. If you would please send me the link to that. If not, I can get it myself, actually. The bombardment of Turning Point USA ads below every single YouTube video, including the images they use. I actually haven't seen any of this because I'm a YouTube premium recipient. Yes, I use all my George Soros money on my YouTube premium. So I don't have to look at ads. If you need links, I'll snag. Hell yeah. Yes, sir. Welcome in, Mr. Joe, sir. So good to see you here. Hello from work. So unfortunate. Let's pour one out, everybody. Let's pour one out for all of our working people who are working right now, who can't be here for the CHEK broadcast. It's very sad. And JD Vance outing himself on minimum wage and the immediate backlash. Is that in the Connor Eats Pants interview? I've taken screenshots. Hell yeah. If you want to, Kayla, if you want to send me stuff on the Discord, if you have more, it might actually be better for us. We're ironing out the kinks right now, live. Fuck it, we'll do it live, right? If you want to send me stuff on Discord, that might be the best way for you to get things to me immediately. Especially like photos and like screenshots or whatever. Let me just pull up if you would do it in the in the council chat. I think the council chat would be perfect. Thank you, Kayla. Thank you. Okay, it's with Erica and the man that introduced her to Charlie, who she dated before Charlie. Yes. I'm aware of a little bit of the lore. I, of course, have been following Charlie Kirk for maybe 10 years now. But I never really was super familiar with what exactly he was doing with Turning Point USA, and then also like the larger connections that he was kind of, building there. I just knew that his rhetoric was like vile garbage. And yeah, like they worked with like this, I don't know exactly the lore on that, so maybe you'll be able to give me the link to that. No Connor interview, just calling him out. Oh, okay. I would love to see JD Vance go on Connor's show because Fortnite Fridays, I'm pretty sure it's called. Fortnite Fridays, the best political show in the nation right now, sweeping the nation. I definitely recommend the Gavin Newsom one to anybody who is interested in that. He did very well despite him being a Democrat. Most people will go easy on Democrats, but he brought the big guns to that one. I don't have them organized. I will prep them if you want. Yes, if you want to, I will use them. Plus Tucker, yes, Tucker Carlson is another one that we should really look out for in the future. I think that as it stands right now, Tucker Carlson is probably like the most popular candidate for 2028. Assuming that the Trump administration doesn't declare martial law and ignore future elections. That would be a very, very, very interesting time for America. Let's hope that it doesn't get to that, though. Candace Owens, very rare, correct information on Erica. Oh, what is that about? I know that she had a little meeting with Erica, and they talked about how like Candace Owens was like, dude, Candace Owens is such a freak. She was literally like, she was like doing the most with Charlie's death that like anybody could ever do. You know, she was milking it to the bone. Like, she literally got to a point where she was like, she went from saying, like, yeah, the way he would talk about it and the way he would text about it was, like, just gave me that vibe, you know? She went from that, like, within, like, a week into saying, like, Charlie came to me in a dream and told me that the Jews in Israel killed him. And like, just the most insane nonsense. And just milking it to the bone. It's craziness. It's craziness. I've always hated JD Vance. Good. He sucks. I actually was reading a little bit of his book, Hillbilly Elegy, dude. Dude, JD Vance is such a fucking cretin, dude. Betrayer. Betrayer is what he is. Whatever happened to that Daily Six cuck? Daily Wire? The transphobic glasses guy? Are you talking about Matt Walsh? We don't need to talk about Matt Walsh. We don't need to. He's irrelevant and ugly, and I don't want to look at him right now. I wanted him out of Ohio like a decade ago. JD Vance? That's impressive because he was just a liberal back then. JD Vance famously in I think it was in 2016, it was definitely during the first Trump era, referred to him as like, I don't want to misquote, JD Vance calls Trump a, here we go. Let's get into it. JD Vance once compared Trump to Hitler. This is Reuters. Now he is Trump's vice president-elect. This was of course during the before the inauguration. Oh my God, the ads. Oh my God. November 6, 26 in the lead up to the 2016 presidential election, JD Vance was a bitter critic of Donald Trump. Publicly, he called the Republican businessman an idiot, said he was reprehensible. Privately, he compared him to Adolf Hitler. But by the time the former president tapped Vance to be his running mate in July, the Ohio native had become one of Trump's most ardent defenders. With Trump's decisive win in Tuesday's presidential election, Vance, 40 years old, I didn't know he was that young. He looks a lot older. Also became the heir apparent to Trump's re-energized Make America Great Again movement. Dude, any Republican who thinks that JD Vance is the future of the Republican Party, first of all, I hope so, because it would be completely feckless if he were to become the new the new Republican lead. I don't know if he was being loud again. Forgot his name because he sucks eggs. Yeah, JD Vance, or not JD Vance. Matt Walsh is such an ugly freak. He's just another one of those wannabe theater guys who can't make it in Hollywood, you know? And so they just turn to like really easy identity like politics based grifts, right? I mean, with Matt Walsh, it's very clearly his transphobia and his homophobia, his religious extremism. It's very easy to funnel that stuff. And even if you're not successful as like a writer or an actor or any kind of media figure with like any dignity, even like just being in that field, you pick up on strategies and stuff for information. And so like they're able to use that, right? That limited understanding they have on easy mode, where they can just spew like the most racist nonsense or homophobic nonsense, and they'll get like a massive payout from some wealthy contributor. It's just easy mode media. Easy mode independent media is a good way to put it, I think. But the Daily Wire is kind of falling apart, so I'm excited to watch it burn. JD Vance has always been a bastard. Your politicians do not love you, but they all love each other. This is true of the current politicians that we have, the current general political structure that we have, right? The Democrats and the Republican establishments are hand in hand with there's like a billionaire in between the Democrats and the Republicans shaking both of their hands like this, right? And then when they're not shaking their hands like this, they're jerking them off like that too. Or maybe it's like the billionaires are in the middle, and they're shaking the hands of the politicians, and the politicians are under the table handying the billionaires. That's exactly what it is. And what's interesting about the Ohio governor's race coming up is that Vivek Ramaswamy is 1 and 2 is both. He's both. He's both shaking his own hand and jerking himself off at the same time. It's like, how many hands does this guy have? I guess if you have $1 billion, you can do that. I remember Vance during the Obama election did not like him. He didn't like Obama. I called them Daily Six because it was originally 6 very loud idiots getting wire-fed information to suit their and those who subscribe to the shit they put out insane biases. What Daily Six are you talking about? The originally. Are you talking about the Daily Wire? Like Candace, so like at the time it would have been Daily Wire. Okay. The Daily Six. Yeah, it was like Matt Walsh, the guy who looks like Matt Walsh but like a little bit more liberal. And there's Ben, obviously, Candace Owens, and then who are the other two? This was at the time. I think Candace Owens left the Daily Wire because they weren't anti-Semitic enough for her. I remember. Yeah, I think the other guys are still on the Daily Wire though. And it was what's his name? Steven Crowder, who was on the Daily Wire a while ago, and he had a whole thing before his life fell apart. That was another one that I kind of watched from a distance. It was enjoyable though. So okay, that's the JD Vance comparing Trump to Hitler. Very interesting take, JD Vance.
I don't believe in Plan B. I believe that
What the hell is this? Let me get logged in real quick to whoops. Let me get logged in real quick to my my YouTube account. Like I said, I didn't prepare enough for this. I need to add my account. Bing bang boom. Bing bang. Something went wrong. Why? Something went wrong. Okay. Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, Michael Knowles, that's the guy. Jeremy Boring. He's the guy who doesn't really do media. He just kind of like a wealthy contributor, kind of back end type of guy, I think. Andrew Clavin, I've never heard of him. Candace Owens and Special Associate Jordan Peterson, the what is he, like an oil lobbyist now? I'm here to troll leftists and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum. Let's go, dude. We got them. They're starting to come in now. Yeah, what kind of gum? You seem like a Tutti Frutti kind of guy. All right, what's my password? Wrong password. Wrong password again. Hold on, maybe it's in my book. I'll tell you what, guys. Also, next time I promise to be more prepared. Juicy fruit, that's the one I was thinking of, not Tutti Frutti. What is Tutti Frutti? What even is that, bro? Two-step verification. Where'd my phone go? I only chew gum from 60-year-old packs of baseball cards. That's good. That's good. Back whenever they had real ingredients like lead and cocaine. I don't think bubblegum ever had cocaine in it, but hence why I am all out. Oh, I see. It's kind of hard to come by, the Big League Chew. Bro, it wants me to do so many things. I don't even have this phone anymore. Bro, fuck off. Just let me log into my fucking... Bro, what is this? What is this shit? Dude. This is making me mad. Sorry, chat. Fucking two-factor authentication is going beast mode on my ass right now. Check your Google Pixel. Here I go again. Yes, it's me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I hope it stays logged in. Now, what video were we gonna watch? I don't even freaking remember anymore. What does this world come to? Here it is.
Turning now to election 2026 tonight, in Ohio's governor race really is quickly solidifying now, with both frontrunners announcing their running mates today. Democratic candidate Dr. Amy Acton revealing David Pepper is joining her in the race.
A Republican, Vivek Ramaswamy, held his first campaign event today since announcing Rob McCauley as his choice for lieutenant governor. Ronnie Dunnigan starts our team coverage tonight from Cleveland.
Tonight, Cleveland is the center of politics in the state of Ohio. This announcement, yet another major step as we inch closer to Election Day.
The next governor of Ohio, Vivek Ramaswamy.
The focus of Ohio politics squarely pointed at Northeast Ohio Wednesday.
2026 will be a year of many blessings, hopefully for our family, but we hope definitely for our home state of Ohio.
Republican gubernatorial candidate Vivek Ramaswamy taking the stage for a major campaign event. The Cincinnati native and entrepreneur addressing a packed room at Windows on the River, making what his campaign had promised would be a special announcement.
The next lieutenant governor of the state of Ohio, my friend, Rob McCauley. Thank you, guys.
Are you asking me? Why do you have yourself and the stream labeled under leftist? Because it is? Because I am? Because it is and I am? I don't know what else I would call myself. Maybe it could be updated. Yes, I am asking you as an insult. What does that even? I don't understand. What do you mean? Being a leftist means you don't understand economics. Why don't you understand economics? Have you guys ever heard about the two economists that go walking through the park? Two economists, right? Two economists go walking through the park. And economist number one says to economist number two, he says, hey, I see that there's a pile of shit over here. If you eat that pile of shit, I'll give you $100. So then economist two says, that's a pretty good deal. And he eats the shit. Economist number one gives economist number two the $100, and they go on their merry way. And later on in the walk, economist number two sees a pile of shit, and he thinks, hey, I have an idea. I've got $100 in my pocket that is burning a hole. And so he turns to economist number one, and he says, hey, if you eat that pile of shit, I'll give you $100. Economist number one says, oh, boy. He goes, eats that shit. They go on their merry way. $100 goes to economist one. And then they leave the park, and economist number two stops and says, don't you feel like we both just ate shit for nothing? And economist number one goes, no, dude. We made the GDP go up by $200. And then they both jerked each other off. That's the thing is, like, you can be like, oh, you don't understand economics, but the thing is that you don't understand anything. You don't understand sociology, right? The theory of the idea of society being a thing that can be influenced by policy, and in turn, policy can be influenced by society. Understanding that relationship, I personally think is far more important than like the economic. Although the economics are extremely important as well. Yeah, that's a good question, Little Flower Vagabond. Thank you. Do you believe in trickle-down economics? I'm a disciple of the Austrian school. The school from down under? Not the Australian, the Austrian. The Austrian school. What the fuck is the Austrian school? Free market works, basic idea. Right. Austrian school. What does that mean, dude? It originated in 1871 in Vienna with the work of Karl Menger, Eugen von Bohm-Bawerk. Sorry, it's loading. The Austrian school is a heterodox school of economic thought that advocates strict adherence to methodological individualism. The concept that social phenomena result primarily from the motivations and actions of individuals along with their self-interest. Yeah. See, that's just the thing with like libertarians is that you just like don't understand the economy of power. And maybe that's a way that I can kind of target libertarians, right? Is look at it like this. It's not power dynamics and you know, and the relationship of material things and reality and sociology. It's actually the economy. It's actually the economy of power, right? So if you decentralize, if you continue to take the United States' federalist system and push it more and more towards that old Confederate idea of decentralization, the closer you get to that, the closer you get to another power vacuum just being filled by just another power. And you know, the thing is that the people who want you to believe in libertarianism are not libertarians. They're just authoritarians, and they just want to control you in that way. All chatters are not free to say whatever they want. But I I support anybody making an attempt. This is why we don't want anybody to have too much of it. So why don't you... Okay, so that's the thing is, like, because I don't want any one person to have too much of power either. But from a socialist standpoint, we understand that, like, the way that you get to a powerful force that is non-authoritarian in that way is by democratizing it, right? And you can't democratize something that is disorganized, which is what the privatized system of governance is here in the U.S. Power comes in many forms from small to large. Incredible. Absolutely right. Yeah, mutual agreement that fascism is bad. Let's just get on that. Okay. Fascism is bad. That's good to hear. That's good to hear because you can never be sure. There's just control over the economy that is not a free market. Right. Because a free market, like, okay, let me put it at you like this. If you do something really bad, you should probably not be allowed to do that thing, right? Just like as a very vague idea, right? So like if somebody is like a pedophile, they should probably be stopped, right? So the theory in you know, the theory is that having this free market, what you call a free market, will obviously only lead to a monopoly forming, right? If you don't have any kind of regulation on these industries, a monopoly will form, and one power will, you know, absorb all of the rest in that field, and it will eventually become something that you cannot compete against, right? Should you be stopped from using heroin? The thing is you should not be, like, we should stop people from using heroin, but not by force. We should have, like, we should understand the sociological need and the economic need for rehabilitation systems aside from prison, because prison is not a rehabilitation system. Prison is a legalized slavery system that is built to perpetuate itself. Okay? And so if you really want to stop heroin, you cannot just arrest people en masse for doing heroin or even for transporting heroin. Okay? The actual solution is to de-addict the population with, using social science. Because if you understand, that people become addicted to things and people stay addicted to these terrible drugs because of their sociological and economic places in society. These are the things that cause, drug addiction. So if you can combat it using that information, you can actually effectively wage a war on drugs. The historical war on drugs in America is just one of finding any excuse possible to attack the minority classes in America. I got distracted a little bit earlier. I was trying to make a point, but I think I rounded it out anyways. Yes, if someone is a pedophile, they should not be able to be in power. And so by that same logic, and it's because they hurt society and they hurt the people in our society. And we have democratically, albeit not a perfect system that we have, but we have come to a decision in our modern day that if you're a pedophile, you should go to jail. You should at least go to jail. You should not be allowed to continue doing that, because that is a crime that hurts our society as a whole, that hurts our individuals in society. Okay? Now, using that same idea, this unregulated, libertarian, free market capitalism hurts far more people en masse than any one individual pedophile does. Not trying to say this is worse or whatever, not trying to say that, but using that same idea, can say that we should have a centralized democratic approach to capitalism. So all drugs should be legal, and the government should not stop the manufacture, transportation, or sale and use. Not that they shouldn't stop the manufacture, transportation, and sell or sell and use or market of them, but it doesn't warrant violence on them. If you see somebody cooking drugs, that does not warrant violence against them. If you see somebody using drugs, that does not warrant violence against them. If you see them selling them, it does not warrant violence being used against them. It does not warrant putting them into slave labor in our prison system. I thought prison was just legal slave labor. Prison is many things, but one of the things that prison is in America is legalized slave labor. Yes. We're very far off from the utopian dream world that would allow us to rehabilitate pedophiles. Okay, we're very far off from that world, and I would never even dream about spending my time advocating for such a thing. So yes, the short-term solution to pedophiles is throw them in jail. Officially, the leftist has said, yes, prison for pedophiles. I know, it's crazy. Crazy thoughts. Heroin addiction is also very common among those who were inappropriately prescribed opiates and formed a dependency, and war veterans due to PTSD. This is true. And it's actually interesting whenever you start looking at the history of China, of pre-communist China, the capitalist ravagings of China in their century of humiliation is an absolute result of the capitalists from Europe using sociology, their understanding of drugs and sociology, to addict the Chinese population to what's the poppy, poppy smoking or whatever. I think that there was many ways that they were taking in the drug, but and then what did the communists and then whenever the communists came into power during the Cultural Revolution and uplifted the most amount of people out of abject poverty as in all of human history, like the most amount of people, whenever the Communist Party did that, it didn't brutalize the I mean, I believe that I'm not the most polished on the exact details of this, but I know that they did directly stop the European forces from continuing to run this drug trade in, right? And that makes sense. But they didn't like brutally prosecute its people for being addicted to these drugs, because if you look at the sociological and economic standards that they were living under, it makes perfect sense why they would be all addicted to heroin or smoking poppy. History repeats itself. It then became tobacco. That's right. Yeah, America was built on the drug trade. America was built on the drug cartels, and people in the American monoparty media landscape will say that, like, they'll say that the Mexican government is run by the cartel. Whenever I look at the situation and the relationship between the cartel and the governing body of Mexico, I understand that it looks exactly like America did like 100 years prior. Like, and the only difference really is that it's more outwardly facing than it is in America now, where it's all under the table. We still profit off of this massive drug empire. Did the libertarian leave us? They stopped messaging. Am I giving them too much information at once? I'm kind of just like riffing back to back things that I think I'm formatting it well enough, but it might be a little bit scattered. Oh, okay, they're still here. Drugs are not stopped at the border because it's good for the economy. Does that make it okay since it fuels net positive for the economy? No, you are agreeing with me. Maybe you can learn. I would love to learn more. I would love to learn more. I would love it. I've recently picked up reading. Read some good pieces like this one. Communist Manifesto is a real good one. And by the way, can I ask, are you from the East Ohio region, or are you just from the internet ether? You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but it'd be nice to know. Anyways, let's look a little bit more into Vivek Ramaswamy. Let's look at his, I think this is his campaign whip. No, this is not. WinRed. What is this? Maybe it is his website? I kind of want to find his official website. WinRed. Okay. It seems to be intended that we go there for him. Okay. If anyone has a better link that I should look at, just let me know. Please do comment your discussion points, Han. Thank you. Here's a link to the free book if you are into reading. What's this one? Economics in One Lesson. Okay. I will hold on to this until after the stream, and I will do a little bit of reading on that. And I would love for you to return to the stream maybe the next time we go live, or just another time, whenever. I'll be ready for it. Uh-oh. I'm getting a link that Wait, are you talking about this one? You gotta be specific. I'm clicking a lot of links. I'm from Chicago, a hellhole in the making. Look, I don't necessarily like the hellhole that I live in either, but you know, it's the ones that we have, and it's we're gonna have to work with it, you know. Okay, so it's pivotal that all MAGA patriots step up and help Vivek win this race. It's interesting that they're using MAGA patriots. I would imagine that they would be trying to distance themselves from MAGA right now, seeing as how Trump's approval rating is in the fucking toilet. TheEconomist.com. 360 days into Donald Trump's term, the president's net approval rating is down 16%, up 0.4 points since last week. 40% approve, 56% disapprove, and 5% are not sure. Ooh, it's not looking good. Not looking good for him. So yeah, I am a little bit surprised to see that, but you know, maybe they kind of do it on the face, but don't get too deep into it, you know. Vivek is ready to help unleash the America First agenda at the state level, but it's more complicated than one would think. You see, Democrats, who are still reeling from their crushing defeat in 2024, see Vivek as their chance to strike back and cripple the momentum of our movement. But that's why the left is throwing everything they've got at him. Dark money, fake ads, and vicious smear campaigns designed to destroy his reputation and undermine his message. What is his message exactly? Here's the MAGA Patriot again. Contributions. Can I get some information on the actual campaign, though? Not a good link for it. Let's just look at his Wikipedia. Why don't we? Do you mind some issues that are getting worse from your perspective, since you are locally exposed to it and would have a better understanding? Yes, that is... I'm not super knowledgeable about Chicago, anything like that. So it's the floor is yours as far as disseminating information. So go ahead. Agenda, come up with a new word. Who you saying that to? Yahoo. 404. That's a 404. That link there. Okay. American entrepreneur and politician. Roivant Sciences. Multinational healthcare company focused on applying technology to drug development and building subsidiary life sciences and health technology companies. Founded in 2014. Okay. Biotechnology. Okay. Pharmaceutical. Yes, he was in the 2024 Republican primaries, if you guys remember. He was running in the Republican primary. I don't remember exactly when he dropped out, but I'm pretty sure he just dropped out and endorsed Donald Trump. Oh, yes. He withdrew his bid and endorsed Donald Trump. In 2025, he launched his campaign for the 2026 Ohio gubernatorial election, and received endorsements from both President Trump and the Ohio Republican Party. He also received an endorsement directly from Mike DeWine, the current... what's this? The Mayor Johnson is looting the coffers of the city to enrich his teacher union cronies? Teacher union cronies? I'm sorry. We have an ad coming in 5 minutes. I just snoozed it for you, but just so you know, it will be back in 5 minutes, and it will come for you if you are not subscribed. I believe it's $6 or $7 a month. You can subscribe, or if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can link it with your Twitch account, and you can get a free Prime sub every month. You can use it on your favorite broadcaster. I know it's me, so just go ahead and use it. That would be great. Okay, so his teacher union cronies. He is still part of the teachers union, and he did not leave his job when he got elected, okay? So when he loses the next election, he gets all the pay raises he passed. Okay, okay. Right. It gets a lot worse from there, though. Whoa! He wants to pay teachers! He wants to pay teachers! But it gets worse than that! That's just simple corruption. Paying teachers. What are you, out of your fucking mind? Paying teachers? How are we gonna send money to Israel? Whoops, I didn't mean to pin that. Sorry. There we go. He also removed the shot spotter from Chicago. It was a system that would track gunshots automatically so police would be alerted to a potential crime without anybody calling in. He felt this was racist, so he got rid of it. All right. We can look into that. We can look into it. Chicago. What's his name? What's his name? Johnson. Chicago Mayor Johnson removes shot. What's it called? Shot spotters. Shot spotters. Is that what you call them? Shot spotter. All right, we can look at that. Certainly, it was for his direct campaign site. Okay. If you could send another, if you do find that, please do send it to me. Is unionizing bad in your opinion? I would assume you would say yes because you seem to be a libertarian, but I would love to talk about unions, especially teachers unions. I would love to talk about that. Teachers that are so bad at their job, 0% of their students can read at their grade level. Okay. So, whenever we say, hey, the police are clearly not qualified to be doing this job, they are not qualified to be in the positions of authority that we have placed them into, whenever we say that, all the Republicans and the Democrats say, well, obviously, this means we need to pay them more money. We need to pay them a higher percentage of our budget because they clearly don't have the resources to properly train. But somehow, when we look at the teachers, who many of which start out at like, what, $20,000 a year or some shit? We can look at that. We can pull that up. Teachers full-time pay first year. I have a friend who I lived with for a year and a half who is a teacher who just started teaching a couple years ago. Here's ZipRecruiter. First year teacher salary in Ohio. I know we're talking about Chicago, but in Ohio, we're in Eastern Ohio here. This is Eastern Ohio-based news. We will look at Chicago, though, in a second if we can. Nationwide, it's $46,000 a year as a full-time teacher, man. I'm sorry, but the truth is that they don't get paid enough to deal with this shit. If we want them to do better, then they need better. I mean, this is a travesty. This is absolutely disgusting to me. Public unions are an abomination. What do you mean by a public union? Public union. What does that mean? Is that just labor unions? Two years is all it takes to be a cop. I'm not even convinced that it's that much. And we know that for ICE, it's nowhere near that. It's more like 2 minutes. You just have to prove that you're racist, and you're on. You're in. 4 years plus 1 to 2 to be a teacher. Yeah, right. And Little Flower Vagabond said it perfectly. Bad teachers. I'm not saying the teachers aren't bad. You said the teachers are so bad that they have a 0% a rate of students being literate to their grade level. And I understand that. But you need to understand that that's not because the teachers are squandering their union benefits, okay? It means that they're like, and the whole reason why they have a union is because it's so bad for them. It's funny because like libertarians will also say the same thing about healthcare. Well, they'll say like, well, if we make healthcare free, then the doctors won't have a competitive market, and they won't want to come here to do healthcare work because they're not making millions of dollars doing it if it's free healthcare. But somehow, whenever the teachers, we don't have good teachers at all, the answer isn't, oh, we need to pay them more. The answer is, they're evil and they're squandering it and they're teaching leftism to the masses. Like, dude, they're reading Animal Farm in school. Okay? That's the most leftist you're gonna get in the public school system. Okay? Unions are set up to negotiate contracts with their employers in the private sector. It is a give and take. There is nothing wrong with that. However, public unions negotiate with the person they may or may not vote for, and they are not giving away their own money in the negotiations. They are giving away taxpayer money. That is a built-in conflict of interest. I disagree. I disagree. The public unions negotiate with the person they may or may not vote for. I mean, that sounds great to me. Unions are a democratizing force, right? So more power to the union gives more power to its democratic base of union members. And I think that's awesome. Your take check is not hefty enough. They don't fail students because they aren't paid. Rewarding a person for a poor performance only encourages a poor performance. Okay, so you would say that it's good to defund the police when they slaughter Americans in the street? You would say that we should defund the police, I assume? Okay, Han is presenting unions versus public union operations. Could we provide a good example of a union? Yeah, what's an example of a public union that has, I guess, in your eyes, done a disservice to democracy or something? Tax evasion? Sure, back in the day, the coal union was so powerful and onerous to mine owners, the oil industry gave the Oil Man of the Year award to the leader of the coal union for decades. Coal was cheap and affordable for the masses until the union put themselves out of work. Hey, I get the breath cleaner air. Taxation is theft. We got him. Boys, we got him. Yeah, they could not allow poor blacks seeking employment scab their jobs away. I mean, I don't know that it's necessarily the black community that was scabbing, but they were being abused, dying, and living in cities controlled by the company towns. In certain circumstances, could not even leave. It was basically an attempt to bring back the feudal serfdom of the working masses in the industrial heartland of America. And the simple fact is that we're beyond that. We are absolutely beyond that. You know? We are past the point of you know, we've passed the line of intelligence, right? We know. I'm curious, do you play D&D? The known Dark Senate. Welcome in. I do play D&D. Well, not D&D. We're playing Cyberpunk right now. It was a white-dominated workforce. Yeah, we're talking about like West Virginia, right? You said the coal union in West Virginia. Is that? Did you come up with that, or did I assign that in my mind? The coal union. Unions were formed to keep poor blacks from the South looking for jobs from employment. You're absolutely wrong. You're absolutely wrong. I'm not saying that wasn't a thing that had happened. We have an ad break in progress. You said you do play? Yes. Sorry, your Twitch is... Are you on Twitch mobile? Sorry, your Twitch is glitching. My Twitch mobile glitches all the time. Yeah, I'm playing Cyberpunk right now with my homies. Yep, mobile. Yeah. Classic Twitch mobile. Are you a DM? No, my roommate's the Cyberpunk DM that we have right now.
The new GOP ticket making its debut.
We need results. We need action. And with your help, when we win this election this November, and with your help, we're going to deliver that. That is exactly what you are going to get from me.
It is time for Ohio to grow and not wither away. It is time for Ohio to lead and not follow.
Ramaswamy continuing to make waves. He entered the governor's race after a 2024 run for president and has since emerged as the presumptive Republican nominee. He's backed by President Donald Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and dozens of Ohio lawmakers. And his campaign says it has raised nearly $10 million in recent months.
We were the state that gave birth to Neil Armstrong, to John Glenn, to Thomas Edison, to the Wright brothers. We were the state that the rest of the country looked up to. And you know what? We can be that state again.
Education and the economy, key focuses of its platform.
When we become the first state to execute the fastest turnaround in math, reading, and writing across the United States of America, other states will ask, why not us?
On the Democratic side, Dr. Amy Acton, former director of the Ohio Department of Health, is running for governor with strong labor and Democratic support. Acton has spoken openly about her childhood, growing up in poverty.
Yeah, backed by other affiliates, but notice the announcer did not say Ohio citizens. It's purely like, just all that billionaire money that drives this whole thing. I'm really interested to see, because okay, the simple fact is that rural Ohioans are extremely racist. Okay, there's something to be said about bringing up, like, people would say that Kamala Harris couldn't win because she's black South Asian woman, she could never win the presidency or whatever bullshit. That's obviously not true for the Democrats. But I wonder, like, how much it actually really affects the Republican turnout, you know? Like, I could see racist Republican Ohioans voting for Amy Acton because she's a white woman. I could really see that happening. I don't know if anybody else has any info on that, or maybe like some statistics, maybe some numbers. That would be good. Thank you for the follow. Also, I saw that you asked if I would be interested in a Star Wars evil political D&D campaign. That does sound fun, but I don't know that I have time to join another tabletop RPG game right now. Maybe in the future. We'll see. But thank you for the follow. And I see that you're from Ohio. Shout out. I love to see the Ohioans here. That's what it's all about, baby. Yeah, I say I'll go down to even like the city that I live in, right? But like from that point on, I'm not gonna like, you know, give specific details, or at least I'm gonna try not to, to further dox myself. But political alignment. Pre-Civil War, we got more Han. Pre-Civil War, the Irish were the large pool of cheap labor. After slavery ended in America, large populations of blacks were now migrating north to look for work and were met with discrimination from workers whose job they were looking to take. Forming unions was part of fighting against this. I would love to look more into this, but what's interesting about bringing up this specific historical anomaly of the relationship between racism and unions is this is like mid-industrial revolution, or like slightly post-industrial revolution America, and we're in a very different time now. So that's also important to mention. Like I said, I'll look into what you're mentioning. If you have like a video or an article about it, that would be awesome, Han. But as it references modern labor unions, I don't see the relevance, because like whenever I meet people who are part of a union, or people who do union activism, like the DSA. I've been organizing with the Akron DSA lately. Whenever I talk to people like that, they understand the intersections of race and just like minority status, right? There's race, there's gender, and religion, right? And they're very disciplined on the organizational level, at least. They're very disciplined on this. And so, you know, bringing up like the history of racism in labor unions is seems kind of irrelevant to me personally. But maybe I'm wrong, and I would love to see. I would love to learn more. If you have a link, or whatever. Did you see my other question? What was your other question? My DM? No, I'm not. And no. Nope. Didn't see any other question. You can ask it again if you didn't hear my response, though. Immigrants stealing jobs. Yeah, it definitely rings as immigrants stealing jobs. It is a never-ending cycle. Say stealing jobs. See, but then it's like, okay, so are you racist or are you pro-union then? You know? Like, which are you? Because you're like, yes, they should unionize in order to keep out the blacks from moving in and stealing their jobs. But you were just talking about how you didn't like that. So what exactly is your point? Anyways. Yes, it is. It's simple economics, guys. You get skills and move up, or you get replaced by cheap labor or robots. The problem with modern America is we have welfare, so you don't even have to steal jobs anymore. Just sign up for welfare. Incredible. Incredible work. I mean, I'm not necessarily a fan of the welfare state in general. I think that there should be a welfare state. I think that there should be a universal standard that we provide rights to everybody. But obviously having the neoliberal solution of a welfare state creates its own problems. But the main reason why there is a welfare state is to attempt to curb leftist organizing and labor unions from you know, coming together and getting stronger. Because if you don't have any social safety nets at all, like you are proposing, you have people starving on the street. You have people dying of malnutrition. You have mass amounts of people without health care. And it's not that we don't have the doctors and the medicine to do these things, because these things are relatively cheap to provide. It's that we have a privatized system that if you can't pay the free market rate, then you fucking die in the street. You calling me racist has nothing to do with economics and the discussion at hand, but you are letting your emotions dictate your thoughts. Turn off emotion and look at it objectively. No! I'm sorry, no. That's fucking stupid. I think that's dumb. The truth is that I am an emotional person, and I don't necessarily think that's a weakness. I think that helps me relate to my fellow human beings on this planet in a way that you seemingly will never understand unless you grow a heart like the Grinch. Like the Grinch. Maybe you just need a good Christmas. I'm not letting emotions dictate my thoughts. I'm literally like saying like, okay, I don't think you've sent any links about all the stuff you've talked about. You bring up labor unions are racist. Okay, send me the link. Nothing. Oh, you're being emotional. Okay. That is nepotism. Wait, what is nepotism? What did Little Flower Vagabond said? What if someone from a high-income family does not earn the degree required for a job position, but they are chosen over a worker that was overqualified in terms of their education? Is that also stealing? Would unionizing be valid if this were a never-ending cycle? That's a very interesting point that Little Flower Vagabond brings up, and you called it correctly, Han. It is nepotism. That is what happens under unregulated capitalism. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. It hurts the business. They are not hiring the best people someone else is. Same with affirmative action. See, you bring up affirmative action, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Because affirmative action, right? The idea of just the idea of doing reparations in your hiring process, desegregates these seemingly racialized classes that we have, and I think that's important. I mean, you could say that you think it's unfair or this or that or the other thing, but I think it's good to advertise job openings to all sorts of communities, because I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's a good idea to intentionally have a workplace, or to have a workplace that is intentionally making a specific decision on who they hire. Right? I don't think that's a good idea. Do you solve problems with emotion or objective thinking? Both. The answer is both. Especially whenever we're talking about humanity and government and society and businesses and economics. Whenever we're talking about these things that directly are directly tied to our daily lives, I'm sorry, but have you ever gone through a day of your life without feeling an emotion? It's a rather important aspect of this conversation. And yeah, and okay, you can say I'm being emotional or whatever. It's my first day back, okay? Give me a break here. All right? I'm a quirked up white boy and I'm a little pent up. Okay? Okay? I do want to mention, Han, you've been rather graceful. I don't think you've said anything that's like a straight up evil, so thank you for engaging in conversation with us, even if I'm being a little bit mean. I do appreciate you talking with us here. But anyways, we will eventually get through this video. We will eventually. I need to get better at like honing in on the video, I think. Children solve problems with emotions. You could say that. What is this? Best viewers? All right. Oh, did you get him first? Okay, you got the message. I banned him. People do cheat the welfare system, yes. Honestly, not even a thing that I even care to talk about, usually. I mean, I will, but usually I'm just like, cheating the welfare system is such a, like, just say the N-word. We know you want to. But don't. I was joking. Don't do that. But what about someone who, if they did not have genetic, physical... they did not ask for... has no option except for being under welfare... Yeah, the thing is that we need systems like welfare. And what's bad about welfare is that having welfare keeps us from pushing ourselves over the kind of revolutionary, edge, if you will, that would get us to, ideally, a better system. Free healthcare, free childcare, free food, free water, free electricity. These kinds of things are things that we absolutely need. And welfare kind of holds us back from doing that, but you need to understand that having welfare is better than having nothing. Because, and like, I'm not an accelerationist. I'm not saying that we should make our lives worse so that we can spew, or so that we can stir up revolutionary fervor. Okay, that's not the objective. The objective is, capitalism is on its own going to create this revolutionary fervor by making our lives worse and worse and worse year over year over year. And eventually, we're going to need to steer it in the socialist direction. That's my mission. And that's what we're reading about every other Saturday. The first one was on the 10th. The next one is on the 24th in Akron. We are reading Socialist Reconstruction, A Better Future for the United States. I have doctored mine to say Socialist Reconstruction, A Better Future for Ohio and the United States. I thought that was pretty... pretty creative of myself. Thank you. Anyways, I just wanted to plug that for anybody who is in Akron or Eastern Ohio in general, local, who would like to get organized. Join me. Let me know if you're interested in PSL or DSA, and I will hook you the frick up. Okay, my chat scrolled up. Hold on. I'm coming back to you guys. Don't worry. I'm coming back to you. People do cheat the welfare system, yes. Okay, sorry, I'm just getting caught up. Children are more honest than adults. That's also something that's very important. Thank you for bringing that up, Kayla. Children do solve their problems with emotions more than concrete rationality, but they're oftentimes more honest. Very interesting. So if you could utilize, your adult brain in the way that you can think about these complex things, like, sorry, I lost my train of thought. If you can start thinking about like all these concrete solutions to things and like, the economics, the economic science, right? If you can use that, but then also consider the emotional, attachment that you have to the subject, right? Then you can get a better understanding about where the humanity lies, where the people lie. And if you care about democracy, that's something important to consider. And I guess that's just coming from a socialist. I care about democracy the most out of pretty much any other political concept. And so that's something that I care about is, yeah. They state with the C very blankly, arguable. They are not emotional based all the time. Yeah. Immigrants also create jobs as they also create demand for additional goods and services. That's also true. The idea that like people moving into a community and even if they do a complete you know, if they move into a place like Springfield, Ohio, the Haitian population there, I'm not sure what the demographic is, but whenever you have people from somewhere else move to a place and they move in and start working there, they make the area better, not like because they're just coming in and doing all these jobs, but because they're providing more jobs to that place. If there's more people living here, we're going to need more people to maintain the houses, the roads. We're going to need more people to run groceries. We're going to need more people to do car work, healthcare. We're going to need more healthcare workers here. Boom, boom, boom. More jobs open up. And the thing is like in America, we have a system where we have this, we have a bunch of people who might not have like the best legal status, right? Who are working all these jobs that are underpaid, completely ununionized, and they get exploited the most. But because they're here, that opens up more jobs for us to work. The WASPs and the other whites, right? And so that's another example of like the welfare system, right? It's like we do allow them to come in intentionally so that they can work, you know, the billionaire-owned farms, but we don't want to give them, you know, all the Social Security or healthcare or you know, actual wages. Sorry, I need to get caught up. I'm behind on you guys. Let me just read what you guys have been talking about. Well, here's a fun fact. Teenage unemployment was at 1 lower than white teenage unemployment because business owners were in fact not racist when it came to making money. Yes, black teenagers might have worked for less, but they got job experience. Okay, but yes, black teenagers might have worked for less. You just explained exactly how having a free open market leads to racism. Because if they were actually not racist at all, then they would hire black or white, and they would hire them all at the same fucking rate. And the fact is that in a free and open market economy, you're not going to have shit like that because there needs to be regulation. It needs to be democratically organized regulation. So, but they got job experience and capital to make their lives better. Dude, they got exploited. They did work and got exploited. End of fucking story. You can say that they got job experience or whatever, but they should have gotten the job experience while getting experience being paid what they're worth. I think that's far more valuable. Opportunity is a huge advantage. Yeah, you don't really get opportunity from working at McDonald's via your teenage employment. Welcome, Tobias Bro, to the broadcast. Welcome in. It's good to see you again. Thanks for subbing with your Prime. Anybody out there who wants to subscribe but doesn't want to pay me money, but also has an Amazon Prime account, you can link your Amazon Prime account with your Twitch account and you get a free Twitch Prime sub every month, and you can use it on your favorite broadcaster. I know it's me, so just send it my way. Thank you very much. All right, let's continue. Okay, Mr. Joester, true. I would agree if we were not part of a welfare state. Immigration would not even be a problem if there was no welfare state. Really? So, because you think that people only come here to exploit the welfare state. Right. People would immigrate here to work, and if they didn't or want to be criminals, well, goodbye. Okay. Opportunity is highly important, but those opportunities socioeconomically demonstrated to a population that they are worth less than others. That's exactly right. This opportunity, this work, the work experience, the job experience is that you aren't worth your value as a worker. You are worth less than your value as a worker, and you need to learn that. And that's what right wingers truly want you to learn in teenage employment, actually. That is an example of systematic failure under the premise of something good. Absolutely. And another example of under the premise of something good is whenever you go to Taco Bell and they ask, can we round up your total so that we can send 1 out of 1,000, 2,000 of our employees to college conditionally if they get straight A's and do all this and follow all this and check the boxes. And also, it's probably not even somebody who's like disadvantaged. I mean, I don't know the specifics on it. I'd have to look into it, so I don't want to say any further. But, and that's just them getting a tax break, right? Because they're like, look, we have this system where we take money from the top of people's bills and we send kids to college. Isn't that awesome? No. Yeah, perspective on ICE is very important right now, actually. It's not systemic failure. Minimum wage is a failure. Wrong. Sorry, that's not right. That's wrong. Minimum wage laws hurt poor blacks more than anybody. What? They lost a lot of job opportunities. Why pay them more than they were worth? I don't even know what you're trying to say here. Minimum wage needs to go up. I'll just say that. ICE is a valid function of the government, border control, and security. Okay. Also, could I have clarification if you are speaking on immigrants as a whole, specific race, or illegal immigrants? Right. ICE are not police. They require a warrant into someone's home. Purely border control and security? That's a good question. None of that matter in immigration. It is, can you do the job? Do we have a need for labor at the job? You are not a... Okay, so you can come in. You can come in, but only if we can exploit you to the max. I'm sorry, Han, but you're just a racist. You're just racist. Because you're saying like, okay, you want to come here, you want to live here, you want to work here in our community, be part of our society. You can do that, but only if I can exploit every modicum of your being. I'm sorry, but no, I refuse that. And we will never let it happen. It will not be happening. Pussyclat. What would you oppose to replace minimum wage? Right. True. Oh my God, Tobias Bruh, 18 months. Let's go. He's probably already left. Again, your emotion is getting in the way. If I don't hire a black man, I am racist. If I do hire a black man, I'm exploiting them. No, that's not what it is. If you don't hire a black man who has the exact same qualifications as the white person that you did hire, and your employee base is demographically not representative of the community you live in, right? So like assuming that there's more black people in the community by per capita than there are working for you at your whatever this job it would be, right? The truth is that you need to get it closer to that representation, right? Or not that you need to, but if the qualifications are the same, then yeah, it's a good idea to utilize. My emotion's getting in the way. It's getting in the way. Get out of here. Get out of here, emotions. You're not helping. And then if you do hire a black man, I'm exploiting them. You're exploiting a person, okay? Not because they're black or because they're Hispanic, but because the system that we have right now is geared towards not allowing the same rights and protections to minority group workers than white workers. Simple as. Simple as. There should be no minimum wage. Okay, what should there be instead? Nothing. The free market. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yes. Yes. And then you have the monopoly, right? And then you have the oil monopoly and the weapons monopoly owns everything, right? No, you can't sleep under the bridge because it's owned by the weapons manufacturer. Okay? And they don't want you sleeping there. The free market. It's awesome. So awesome. What is this? Okay. As a 15-year-old kid, what skills did you have that an employer would be willing to give you a top-end salary? It's not about a top-end salary, man. It's not about this crazy dream that you have in your head about, you know, about what I believe. It's whenever I was 15 when I started working. I was like a week away from 16, to be fair. But I was 15 when I started working at Dairy Queen. And I probably generated about $50 an hour on average based on the work that I did, okay? And that's just my work. That's like factoring, you know, the business has the product, and it has the business has the brand, and the business has all the ingredients, and it has all the infrastructure for the trucks to come and deliver the stuff. It provides the workers, it hires you, it vets you, provides the gloves, all this and that. With all that factored in, even just working as a 15-year-old in the Dairy Queen, I was generating so much more value for the owner of that Dairy Queen than I was getting paid. So much more. And the fact is that it's not about getting a top-end salary or under communism, we all get paid the same. What it is being paid adequately for the work that you do. And that's why we need unions, because we currently live under the libertarian structure that you apparently love so much. We live under that. The only way to combat that is to organize against it. And the best way to do that is with your workplace. Organize your workplace. All roundups are tax breaks. All those are prepaid. Exactly. That's what I was saying earlier. I need to get caught up. Oh my god. Okay, let me speed run here. So miscommunication here. You hire the person most fit for the job. Equal opportunity regardless of race is the point. Not hiring, say, a white man over a black man or is racist because it isn't. Price fixing does not work whether it be a salary or rent control. That's absolutely wrong. That's absolutely wrong. They did it in New York. They did it in New York like 40 years ago. The rent control, and it was a massive success. Okay, Hannah, I'm trying to understand under the free market, what should people, in your opinion, be paid on the basis of? Based on what they agree to be paid, right? This is why I only troll leftists now, trying to teach them anything is futile. I mean, I'm learning a lot. I don't know about everybody else in the chat. Hi, Pookie Knox, by the way. I'm not ignoring you. Hello, welcome in. It's so good to see you again. I'm learning a lot, personally. So, they should be paid whatever both parties agree on. Boom, nailed it. I fucking knew it, dude. If an employer does not offer enough money, nobody will take that job. Right. Except for you said earlier that if you have an employer not offering enough, that somebody will scab for it. And so I don't know what you have to say about that, but are you aware that every year the Social Security Administration calculates the absolute minimum a person needs to survive in America as a citizen? Yes, so that is probably doesn't believe it. It's big government to say that we need a certain amount of money to survive. Minimum wage is based on the smallest amount of income an individual requires to live. I agree that minimum wage is a broken system because of rent, food costs, etc. That means increase the minimum wage or instill something that actually assures citizens do well. Aaron always saying these numbers, but I want to see the stats critical. I would love to. I would love to. If there's anything specific that I mentioned that you want the numbers on, I would love to bring them up or do my best to find them. Live on the Check This Out broadcast. Still workshopping the name, by the way. Let me know if you have any ideas for that. So a salary. Okay, what point were you addressing there? I'm not understanding. Making fun of CHEK? You're making fun of me? Yes, you learned I am a racist. I don't know that I would describe you as a racist. I would definitely describe you as a libertarian, but you know, which I think would imply racism, but I wouldn't go out calling you a racist based on our interactions here today. We know damn well the government doesn't care. We agree there. The government, by definition, is meant to serve and protect its citizens by means of appropriate designed divisions. I'm not a... As it didn't say I'm not... Yes, you are. You are a leftist. You're crazy. Then we have a different opinion of what is the purpose of government. For me, it is a few simple things, then get out of the way. What few simple things? Like roads, construction, public infrastructure, fire departments, or do you think that those should be privatized? Police force, or should those be privatized too? What about courts? These are the kind of things that are important. Since we previously agreed that fascism is bad, so an all-control government is a big no. Government has national defense, enforcing contracts, and enforcing property rights. These are the legitimate functions of government. After that, it is overstepping. Okay. What about like the property rights for... Okay, how would you enforce your property rights against the largest corporation? I don't know, say like Tesla, right? Wants to demolish your house and build a plant on top of it. And you're like, well, this is my house, so it actually belongs to me, so you can't do that. And then they say, they pull out guns and they say, we're going to fucking kill you if you don't get out of the way, right? So then you go to the courts and you say, hey, Tesla just threatened me and took my house and demolished it or whatever. Then the little government that you want so badly, the small government, is going to say, we don't have the forces to monopolize violence against them. And in fact, they pretty much own us, even if it's not on paper, because they have a monopoly on this or that or the other thing. So our ruling is that you go to jail forever. So enjoy jail. You mean like eminent domain where the government steal your land legally? No, I'm talking about private eminent domain. If you bought something, it should be yours, yes? Yes, okay. Where are we going with this? Where are we going with this? Let's continue on this.
And the foster care system and how that shaped her view of public service.
I didn't realize it then that I was learning that your zip code can predict on average how long you will live and what kind of life you will have, far more than your genetic code.
Other candidates in the race include Republican Casey Putch and Independent Heather Hill. Ramaswamy's announcement comes as campaigns across Ohio begin shifting into high gear. The work...
Yes, the corporate army that employ hitters to rule the world, that employers hire to rule the world. I found a fallacy to that theory, but don't buy that corporation's products. We gotta have more libertarians in here. This is fun. Oh my God. Just vote with your wallet, guys. Just vote with your wallet. Tesla's probably a bad example for this because Tesla made all of its wealth by lobbying the government for tech subsidies. But so it, like in the instance of a small government, you wouldn't have a monopoly that's built up by the government funding it. So maybe something more along the lines of like, oh well, I guess like a lot of companies do that, huh? Now that I think about it. What if we call it Han Incorporated? Fully libertarian, utopian dream world company. If you have a monopoly on something like water, Han Corporations owns all the water. How about that? They've monopolized it and they're just the best at it. Han just hires all the best workers, not diversely hired, by the way, just based on the pure merits of the workers. Has hired the best workers to provide the best water services. And now we have monopolized the whole thing because there's no regulation around us doing so. And we're the best and we're the richest. So we bought out all of our competition and now we own everything. Now, we're done giving water to Michigan. No more water for them. We've decided. What now? I mean, genuinely. Like, you can't vote them out with your wallet if they own all the fucking infrastructure, all the shit. They own the whole society. Name one monopoly in history that was not government-backed. Not government-backed, like, at all? I don't know. Yeah, I don't think there is one. And that's exactly why there needs to be a worker-based democratic organization effort, a union for the workers, so that the workers can democratically organize the larger picture. That is an issue we agree on, yeah. Yep. I mean, there's the, what is it, the United Fruit Corporation? Is that what it's called? United Fruit Company. United Fruit Company. We had wars in Central and South America over this company with America's shit. Capitalism works far better than anything else tried, but I am always open to a better way. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're open to a better way, because socialism is coming. Government should not be funding corporations. Okay, I would love to see you make that happen, but the simple fact is that that's just not how the world works. You know, it's just not realistic. The truth is that we should be funding not corporations, but nationalized industries that are worker owned and operated. Yeah. We do like to see open-mindedness. It is good. It is good to be open-minded. All right, so we looked a little bit into Vivek Ramaswamy and Amy Acton gearing up, and I guess there's two other independents running who are like NHS in Britain. Why do you want government in charge of your healthcare? Dude, America is a third world country. Because we don't give free healthcare as a human right. That's why, by the way. Yes, we want the government to... We want a public option, is what we want. We want a public option that is provided by the government as a human right, provides healthcare to every person, right? And even if you don't move into full nationalized socialist or communist healthcare, even if you don't move directly into that, just having a public option is fantastic for the economy of the healthcare, because, and not just the money side of the economy, but also the actually providing the services, right? Because having a publicly funded option means that there's a standard, and an affordable standard. So if you want to buy private insurance, that's fine, but the private insurance is going to have to be providing you with something extraordinarily good in order to compete with our free, affordable option, the public option. And that will in turn make the private industry better for it. I personally think that we should... healthcare is far too important to leave into the hands of the open market. I think that we should have a completely democratically organized control over a nationalized healthcare services. Absolutely. If you shrink the size of government, taxes are not needed. That is wrong. If you have any government at all, you're going to need taxes. You could fund the entire government on a small tariff. Ah, yes, the tariffs. And a tariff, by the way, is just a tax on you for importing things from outside of the country. It's just like an isolationist tax. It's such a strange thing to I know it's part of the Trumpism to love tariffs, but I'm sorry, they're just terrible in most instances. Yes, it is technically a tax, but optional if you want to buy imported goods versus domestic goods. So what? We don't have we don't want competition with companies overseas? We don't want competition with other countries? It's like isolationism is not a good idea. Health insurance is confirmed fraud, including government issues health insurance. Yeah, because we don't have a democratically organized control of the healthcare system. We have senators like Rick Scott, who defrauds healthcare via like millions of dollars at a time. And then we have, Rick Scott's friends will be like, all these illegal immigrants are getting Social Security. Just straight up lying. They just straight up lie all the time. And they're allowed to do it because we don't have a democratic organization of these things. People die waiting for surgeries and cancer treatments. I don't want my health put in the hands of a bureaucrat. People die in the United States of America because they can't ever get a surgery or cancer treatments because they're too poor. Or they die because of a completely preventable healthcare concern that they would have gone to the doctor for months prior, but they couldn't go to the doctor for, a $50 visit because they couldn't afford that. Okay? If we had free and accessible healthcare for all as a human right guaranteed in a constitution, then we could prevent from even needing these massive operations that people are dying from in America, because we could do preventable we could counteract the preventable problems that we're encountering. I don't want my health put in the hands of a bureaucrat. It's not the idea of a bureaucrat or a middleman. The point I'm making is to democratize it. To have the best way to do it is to have the workers who produce this whole system unionized. and stand together against these billionaire freaks like this guy. Don't say isolationism. When you say that, it makes you sound ignorant. It makes me sound ignorant. Okay, well, maybe I misunderstand isolationism. Isolationism. A policy of remaining apart from the affairs or interests of other groups, especially the political affairs of other countries. I'm sorry, but I think I understand it pretty well. Yeah, could you propose an example of a tariff that would be feasible and sensible? That is a pretty good question. 1% import tariff on all goods, and that is the budget of the federal government. If we collect too much, you can lower that to 0.50. Okay. Now, what happens whenever hi, Jane. What happens whenever you get, like, your nation does turn isolationist? Or say, you know, if you don't think that would happen, just imagine if whatever causes isolationism to happen, imagine if that happened in your world, and you stop, everybody in your country is inward facing. They don't import things anymore. We're completely isolated. Now what do you do? Now how do you how do you keep a federal government going? Essentially, is it just by I mean, I could tell you exactly what would happen, but it's not probably what you would imagine. What would happen is that the wealthiest business owners in America would pay the government, essentially just, you know, if you do the things that I want you to do, then you can have as much of my money as you want. And there you go. You no longer have a small government anymore. You just have a monopolized industry or multiple monopolized industries that control your government. So, socialism is about democratizing these things. Everything else is barbarism, honestly. Let's run this hypothetical under the basis there is no national debt. If you have any opinions on... Yeah, I don't even really care about that. Isolationism is not non-interventionalism. I know that. I know. Non-interventionalism is something that we should participate in. Isolationism is not something that we should participate in. What if trading countries do not agree to the tariffs? Well, it doesn't really matter because they're not paying it, I don't think. Countries tariff us at a far higher rate. They are very protectionist. If they can't afford a 1% tariff to sell their goods in the largest and richest market on earth, that is their loss. Well, I mean, you could say they do this or that or the other thing, but I never said that they should do those things. Also, I don't like to look at like countries other than America with a I guess what would be like the opposite of like a rose-colored glasses. I don't like to be all like, oh well, you're doing it like this, you know. Because I'm an American. I'm an Ohioan. Okay, I'm tackling these problems from where I can reach them, essentially. You know. I don't think tariffs make really any sense at all, personally. Maybe there's an instance where they could be utilized effectively, but I personally think that you should collect taxes for the government's operations in other ways. First way, by the way, is a 100% tax rate at, you know, a democratically decided upon number of dollars. Be that $15 million or 20 or 5 or 1. Somewhere around there, though, I think is realistic. And yes, I mean realistic. Also, Han did not explicitly state they are a libertarian. Han, could you state your own? Well, some people don't like to give themselves, you political affiliations or terms or whatever, and I should probably use them less, to be honest. But they are things that help me to understand certain positions and certain coalitions, I think. But I do think it's important to move away from being like, I'm this and I'm a socialist, Marxist, Leninist, Maoist, third worldist. Like, I'm sorry. Let's talk about things that are, let's have a real human conversation instead. Kind of, direction. That's where I want to push in the direction of, personally. I am a libertarian. Called it. I've been watching, I watched a Sam Cedar libertarian caller video yesterday. That was very, very funny. So I was like, this sounds rather familiar. Nobody is advocating for isolationism. Punish the successful the leftist way. But that's the thing. It's like, who is successful in our current world? And why is it all old white men? It's not about, and here's something that's very important for you to understand about 100% tax rate that I mentioned, which is, I'm sure, why you said that. It's not about punishing those who are successful. The systems that we have currently, the people who get successful do so by doing things that are evil, right? By exploiting the masses. And so, you could say that it's righteous to take all their money away, and I would agree, but it's not about that. The simple fact is that we need to pay for things. And we should do it using all of your fucking money that you stole from all of our workers. And whenever we take all that money from you, we're going to funnel it directly into all those exploited workers and exploited minorities, smaller communities. We're going to pump it directly into all of their social programs, all of their healthcare, all of their teachers' unions, and that's what we're going to do with it. And that is how we're going to make society better, democratically. There we go. That's the thing. That's what it is. So what happens then if one of those countries who declines has an asset we wish to import but are aligned with one that does? Would it be okay if for the agreed tariff country acquired that asset and then exported it here? Right, so just making like a workaround scam. Which is like capitalism loves creating these middlemen and these workaround scams. And that's what bureaucracy is really all about. It's really you just hate middlemen. You don't hate bureaucracy. Okay? You hate middlemen because there's people who are getting rich because our system is asinine. And you're paying the bill. That's what it is. Is that a breach of legality or the contractual agreement of the tariff? That's a really, really good question, Kayla. Don't be too cocky. I'll be cocky if I want. What was I being cocky about? Dr. Dre is a billionaire? Okay. Do you think do I have like Dr. Dre posters in my background? I don't. Wait, when did? Or is it because he's like an artist or whatever? Please take all his money. I'm racist. No, you're not. Stop. This is a joke. It's funny. I agree. The Kardashians need to be poor ASAP. Well, that's also true. But it's not because they're, bimbos or whatever. It's because they're exploiters. But also, I don't want to make the rich people poor either. The rich people are fine. They don't need you to go out to bat for them. And you will never be one of them. They will never let you into or maybe they will, but, I don't know your specific circumstances, but the majority of people who go out to bat for these wealthy oligarchs of ours will never be in their club. They will never let you join the shrimp cocktail pedophile club. Okay? It's all about redistributing the wealth that we all generate together to function, to aid all of us together. Would these laws be voted upon by citizens or be set by the Electoral College? Well, the Electoral College is getting abolished, that's for sure. We are getting rid of that. The left doesn't love the poor, they hate the rich. The left, what do you mean whenever you say the left, by the way? Because whenever you say the left, whenever people say the left, I know what the left materially looks like on the street, right? I know what it looks like. I've met the people who are out in the street protesting and doing whatever. Jane, you need to stop getting in my way. You're stepping on my stuff. You're gonna cause problems. You're gonna cause problems. That would be performative far leftists. I disagree. I want Han to follow so we can have discussions like this. No pressure, though. Yes, that is why talking to leftists can be hard when they are driven by emotion. I give him simple economics about black teenage unemployment, and I turn into a plantation owner. I never said that. I never said you were race, or maybe I did. I don't know. But their lack of understanding hurts the exact people they are trying to help. They are not stupid. They are ignorant. I don't follow political streamers. I assume you got here from the leftist tag. That's usually how people get here. It's actually a game streamer. Yeah, I'm historically a gamer streamer, but I think I want to move in a more news-based political stream direction. I think, yeah. I want to provide on the ground reporting from Eastern Ohio. You know, that's all I am setting out to do right now. Did we ever get a link for his official campaign website? Oh, here it is. Perfect. Perfect. Beautiful. Vivek for Ohio. Okay. Cincinnati native. The mission is to make Ohio the most affordable, opportunity-rich state in America. Okay. Put more money in your pocket, lower taxes, lower energy bills, and greater opportunity. I like the idea of lower energy bills, but how is he going to do this? Let's look into that. Okay, where families get ahead, not fall behind. Lower taxes so families can build their future in our state. Okay, but lowering taxes is not going to fucking help poor people. That just helps you. You motherfucker. Reduce electric bills to advance energy independence. Expand natural gas and deploy innovative energy technologies to strengthen Ohio's energy supply and reduce electric bills for every family. Streamline energy project permits and remove unnecessary regulations. Dude, oh my God. Yeah, expanding natural gas, what I see is allowing for private corporations to come in and destroy our environment for privatized gain. And we will never see any of the profits generated by expanding the natural gas industry. So, you know, there's that. Streamline energy project permits. Energy project permits. I like the idea of that, but I know that it's not for renewable energy. I know that he would never do that. And then removing unnecessary regulations. That's just, we are going to expand natural gas into your communities, into your water supply, and we're going to remove all the regulations that would bar these corporations from exploiting the environment and the people who live here. I mean, reduce electric bills for billionaires, I guess. Lowering the taxes hurts every federal institution like schools. That's absolutely right. It's terrible. It's terrible. Because and we're already so underfunded in those things. Create an economy built on opportunity. Yeah, this sounds like someone else I know. Cut government bloat, so our government lives within its means, not yours. Okay. Essentially smaller government, slash red tape that drives up costs and stalls business growth. Attract the industries of the future with low-cost, dependable energy. This right here, I'm pretty sure that this is a direct reference to data centers because they want to utilize our water supply for data centers in Ohio. Yeah, we will be doing everything possible to prevent this from happening. Create more paths to home ownership and entrepreneurship by lowering the cost of living and reducing barriers to growth. Okay, that's great and all, but you don't have a solution for making home ownership cheaper or for entrepreneurship is fucking crazy, dude. Everyone's not. You're a small business. You're a small business. You're a small business, dude. We got Kamala Harris running for the fucking governor as a Republican. That's incredible, dude. It's incredible. But there's no solutions. Not a single solution. Lowering the cost of living. I don't see any rent freezes. I don't see any what is it called? Price fixing. I don't see any of that. So I don't see an increase in the minimum wage. I don't see nothing. He's a scammer through and through. Protect our neighborhoods and revive our cities? What is this? Enforce stricter bail and sentencing for repeat violent offenders. Okay. Back the blue by empowering local police and sheriffs to arrest violent criminals quickly and decisively. This is not. I mean, it's not even a policy. That's just like I love jerking off the police officers. They're beautiful. And I love oiling them up and jerking them off. Address severe psychiatric illness so officers can focus on fighting crime. Now, this is actually an interesting thing. What you would say if you weren't using doublespeak to say this is we will hire service workers to work with nonviolent psychiatric problems and illnesses. And then, because right now we have officers going in to deal with people who are experiencing, traumatic psychological and psychiatric problems. And officers are only good at escalating problems. So, I mean, you put 2 and 2 together, you're going to get 4. Strengthen public safety across the state so families feel secure in their neighborhoods. Yeah, we all know what that fucking means. Okay, very good. Let's go ahead and look at this. World-class education for your kids. Okay. Raise academic standards with a focus on 3rd grade literacy, 8th grade numeracy, and 12th grade civics. Okay. Empower parents with transparency, meaningful choices over where and how their children learn. Pay our best teachers more by rewarding excellence and attracting top talent into the profession. I get here's an example of using that the theory that libertarians always love to throw at doctors and stuff. here's that being used for teachers. I can tell you right now, though, that if you don't fund the system better, it will not work. Promote healthy meals and daily physical education so kids can learn. That's great. I love that. Expand career technical education and apprenticeships to create real pathways to good-paying jobs. I also don't really have a problem with this trade schools in general and apprenticeships, but I don't see how he is going to make that a reality at all. Unity over division. As Governor Vivek will bring people together around shared values, not partisan divides. He will restore a political culture where we can respectfully disagree while still seeing each other as neighbors, friends, and fellow citizens, unless I deem you illegal, or if you speak Spanish, or if you're a woman, in which I will kill you. To Vivek, this isn't about right versus left. It's about up versus down. That's right, baby. Number go up, number go up, number go up. It's about common sense. Oh, yeah, dude. Common sense, bro. Yes. Yes. And he's fighting to lift all Ohioans. Incredible. Incredible stuff here. We'd love to see that. We will be diving into Amy Acton next. Also, I'll probably go through her election or her campaign page. And then wrap up the stream from there, I think. Because we're already 40 minutes past my goal. I feel like we've done pretty well so far. We've had a lot of good conversations here in the chat. I'm also going to catch up on what you guys have been talking about. Our Constitution is very good at laying it out. However, oh yeah, I should premise. Lowering the taxes hurts every federal institution like schools. That is awful. Okay. And how should laws be made? Our Constitution is very good at laying it out. However, since the day of its signing, it has been under attack by people who want to acquire more power. Okay, so our judicial system is weak, our lawmakers are corrupt, and our voters are misinformed sheep. I'm pretty locked in this far in. I agree so far. I'm pretty locked into this right now. It would be a tall order to get shit back on track. Okay, yeah, that's true. All I can advocate is vote libertarian. Wrong. That's where we disagree. If we can get a few of them in there, we can at least see if it is feasible to be able to change the country. We have a few and had a few in the past, but not enough to make a difference. America needs an American millier. What exactly is American millier? Is that how it's spelled? Millier. I assume this is it.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow, and my—
Shut up. All right, you just tell me. So we're going to wreck the environment, have no funds to restore native species because we got rid of taxes, and if you luck out, some of your bills might go down. Yeah, but I can tell you right now that we know that your cost of living will not go down. Because it just puts you in an even worse position as far as being exploited. You have less say over your own life. In fact, when the government shut down, crews went into Ohio's protected nature parks to test for lucrative resources. They went into untouchable protected areas to see how resource-rich they are for profit. Really? I actually did hear about that, but I don't know the specifics. I would love more information on that if you have a link. Okay, I see where you're coming from. Mutual agreement that the justice system is weak, lawmakers are corrupt, the people are misinformed, or choose to be ignorant. Hard agree that it is a tall order to get things in a way that is the way it ought to be. I'll look more into this. Millier is a person. You have to look into what changes he made, what he campaigned for. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. But for now, let's dive into Dr. Amy Acton for governor, the Democratic ticket runner. Let's see. I have been getting so many ads from her on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. So many ads, and I haven't heard a single policy. So I would love to find out who is Amy Acton and what are her policies. So let's find out. Refuse to look away from Ohioans who are struggling while billionaires and special interests continue to take our state in the wrong direction. Okay, that's pretty good to have on the homepage. I like it. You know, calling out the billionaires is good to do. Okay, let's just go to issues. Priorities. Reducing the costs for Ohio families. I mean, I think that's extremely important for Ohio especially. Let's see what she has to say about it. Growing up without stable housing, reliable meals, or basic necessities, I understand that what that's like. Even today, my husband Eric and I still experience sticker shock when we stop for groceries or fill up the gas tank. What is sticker shock? Shock or dismay experienced by the potential buyers of a particular product on discovering its high or increased price. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much what it's like buying groceries or not even necessarily getting gas, though, I don't think, in Ohio. As governor, I will fight to make life more affordable for everyday Ohioans so we can all have a little bit of breathing room. From housing, healthcare, and energy rates to childcare, drug prices, and property taxes, I will combat high prices with creative solutions, transparency, and working on both sides of the aisle. Ew! As governor, I'll go after companies that take advantage of hardworking Ohioans by price gouging and provide relief to folks who feel overwhelmed. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Oh my God. I will combat high prices with creative solutions. Yeah, the creative solutions, 2 words. Price fixing. Price fixing. Price fixing. I don't see that anywhere. Anywhere. What the fuck is a creative solution? You fucking scumbag. As governor, I'll go after companies that take advantage of hardworking Ohioans by price gouging. So what's the opposite of price gouging? Price fixing. Oh my God, this is craziness. And provide relief to folks who... Okay, what is providing relief? Are you just going to send us money? What's the... Okay, for example, health costs are piling up in every direction. As governor, I will use the power of the state to reduce prescription drug costs. Reduce prescription drug costs. Crack down on higher costs due to pharmacy benefit managers. What? What the fuck is this, dude? Democrats piss me off so dearly. So dearly. Demand more transparency from hospitals and insurance companies to lower costs, reduce insurance premiums, stop surprise sky-high bills, and create partnerships to erase oppressive medical debt that is holding back and often bankrupting so many Ohioans. We'll create partnerships by reaching across the aisle, by the way. Reaching across the aisle. Energy bills are also spiking. New data centers are causing bills to increase, and as governor, I will ensure that Ohio consumers and other ratepayers are not the ones shouldering these added costs. Oh, so we'll let them come in and build these data centers that suck our energy and shit in our water, but they can come in, but we'll just make sure that they pay the extra costs that's you know, just based on vibes, I guess. Housing costs, as well as the costs of food, property taxes, education, and other family costs like childcare and elder care are all increasing. Through smart public investments, creative solutions, and transparency. She's being so transparent. She's being so transparent. She's like, look at all the things I'm doing. There's so many things I'm doing. They're transparent. You can see right through them. Look at how creative my solutions are. Fucking jackass, dude. Steps like... Okay, here we go. Here's something. Here's an actual policy position. Free school lunch. Woo, let's go. An expanded child tax credit and expanding the homestead tax exemption. Jesus Christ. I'm pretty sure this is for, like, homeowners. The homestead tax exemption. Expanding it, yeah. I'll go after companies that take advantage of hardworking Ohioans by price gouging and provide relief to folks who feel overwhelmed. Oh my God, dude. Democrats just, like, type away, saying nothing. We will crack down on wage theft, where employers profit through a variety of tactics and schemes that deprive Ohio workers of pay that they have earned through their hard work. Okay, now, in relation to that, where is the I will support mass unionization efforts in order to accomplish this? Because I just see a scammer. Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the next one. Cleaning up corruption. This one should be good. Rampant corruption is holding Ohio back, and it has to end. Special interests and corporate lobbyists dominate the state house with pay-to-play, dark money politics. And as a result, Ohio keeps moving in the wrong direction. Deep-pocketed special interests make out like bandits while everyday Ohioans pay a steep price. This is absolutely true. As governor, I will shine light on the process, insisting on transparency, mandating more disclosure, and reforming our campaign finance system, and opening bidding, contracting, and appointment processes to ensure decisions are made on behalf of the public and not private interests or big donors. Like, yeah, it's like, this is all sounds great and all, but I don't campaign? Where? What is this? What the fuck is a creative solution? You fucking scumbag. Nice clip there. We will crack down on the corrupt practices that continue to haunt our state and insist on a culture where good work and merit are rewarded, not deep pockets and big checkbooks. The problem with Amy Acton's campaign website right here, what we're reading right now, the main problem is that you can say what the problem is, like, you know, corruption, cleaning up corruption. You can say, we're cleaning up corruption. But then whenever I look at your description of what you mean by cleaning up corruption, you just have, we will clean up corruption. We will clean up corruption. We will clean up corruption. We love cleaning up corruption. Cleaning up corruption is our favorite thing to do. But there's no, where are the names? Where are the names of all of the bourgeois owners in Ohio that you're going to be going after, and how are you going to target them? Got kicked and had to refresh back in. That's weird. Was it just like stopped working for you? But yeah, it's just whenever you look at our Democratic Party operatives critically, whenever you look at them, you need to be looking for these key things in the things that they say. And you could, and there's an argument to be had about electorability, and I will shut you down immediately whenever you bring it up. These are our two options. I know that's exactly you're exactly right. These are our two options, and Amy Acton isn't even the worst that you've seen. You know, there's far worse options out there, and I would love to see Sherrod Brown's updated platform. I would love to look at that as well. Should I save that for the next stream, or should I do that now? Well, right now I'm gonna finish going through Acton's stuff. She's got nine key pieces I'm gonna read. Next stream, I'll do it next stream then. Improving education is Amy Acton's third issue. She really cares about improving education, and yeah, let's get into it. As a kid, public schools saved my life. Okay, that's great. Good for you. So I know exactly why we owe it to every child in Ohio to ensure we're providing them with the best possible education. I'm proud of the fact that Ohio is one of the states that invented public schools. Yeah, dude, sure. Yeah, you're right. That's right. You're right. invented public schools. How can you? Yeah, it's like kind of like okay, the modern iteration of it, sure, but that we've had I mean, I think that we've had what you could describe as public schooling in the Fertile Crescent, like at the dawn of humanity, right? That's just kind of a weird thing, but that's just a side tangent, anyways. Made it legally required for standard education, even the Amish, till 8th grade. I do like the sound of that. Even the Amish till 8th grade. Let's get the Amish in school until 12th grade, dude. That's what actually, let's get the Amish in school until 16th grade. 4 years of college. For every Amish. And not just the Amish. Everybody else too. Force is always the answer. I don't want to force them, but I mean, no. If you're you shouldn't be allowed to be pulled out of school after 8th grade. I'm sorry, but you need more education. And you could say that our current education system sucks, and it does, and I agree with you. But yeah, it's definitely better to do that, to have you be in school. Yeah. And it should be made economically viable for you to go to school and for your family to put you through school. Right? You know how to run my life better than me. So glad I have my white savior. I mean, you can call me white savior, whatever you want. We're talking about Amish people. I don't know if you know, but Amish people are also white. But it's the choice of the Amish. They are a counterculture that chooses if they want to go to high school or work. And that's great and all, but I think that it's education is a human right, and that you should not be pulled out of school by your parents because they need to put you to work or whatever. Amish people are arguably the whitest population. They aren't pulled out. I mean, if you stop going to school in 8th grade because your family is like Amish and they want you to go to work instead, that is being pulled out. Amish never pull out. Good point. They choose what they want to do. True. Yeah, they choose what they want to do, but like maybe this is too progressive of an idea for today's politics, but I don't know. I think that like providing schooling is good. Like, okay, here's for instance, if you don't want to go to public school for once you turn 16 or whatever, after a certain grade level, that's great. But if you aren't going to public school, then you should be going to some kind of trade school or some sort of like further education, and that should be paid for by the government. And I'm not even really much of a let's force them to go to school. I'm more so let's make it as affordable and free, honestly. But, you know, I'll settle for affordable. Let's make it as affordable as possible so that they go through with doing it. You need schooling so you can get exploited. No, man. You need schooling so that you can provide like good work to the community as you grow and learn. And then you know, I guess in our current society, it's good to learn things that help you in the economy, that help you get a job. Those are pretty good. Like trade school is very effective at preparing you for certain jobs, right? Again, they are a counterculture that is not under the federal government like we are. Well, they are. They just have certain, you know, immunities. They learn trade work as soon as they speak. I wanted to give black teenager a job and I was an exploiter. Dude, you're like boiling it down to these, you know, things that you can say are nonsensical because they are nonsensical, right? It's a lot bigger of a conversation than that, you know. If you have a striking union and you bus in like minority workers, or they don't even have to be minority workers. If you bus in workers, that's scabbing, and that is in order to it doesn't matter who you're exploiting as long as you aren't giving into the union's demands. And that's what's wrong with it. That's just using your words, though. Misrepresenting them, but that's fine. Okay. I'm proud of the fact that Ohio is one of the states that invented public schools, but in recent decades, reckless privatization schemes and special interest giveaways have led to worse outcomes for students and a plummeting overall ranking. This is good. This is good. This is true, and this is good. As governor, I will restore public school funding to a constitutional level. I don't know what that exactly means, but get control of the opaque private school voucher system with runaway costs and use those savings to invest in students, teachers, and proven best practices to make Ohio a national leader in education once again. I like her education statement, I guess. I don't know what exactly her plan is to do this, but restoring public school funding sounds pretty good to me. I might have to look into it more. Let me Amy Acton, health and education. Public school funding. I think you are the racist. You don't want black people to have jobs. See, oh my God. A guy says, I need workers, and a bunch of black men show up for a job, and you support beating them so they are afraid to take the job. Mighty racist sounding to me. See, but okay, here's the thing that you don't understand about racism. Because this is why it's important to read. It's not racism to beat up a scab worker just because they're black. Okay, you sound like a Democrat is what you sound like. It's not racism just because they're black. Okay. I don't understand racism. I have a PhD in racism according to you. No, you don't have a PhD in racism. I have a PhD in racism. I do not have a PhD in racism. I did not go to school after high school, to be clear. Schooling is important. What standard education and socialization standards are set in place are the issue. Yeah, I think the current system that we have built, our public schools are built around, is a factory-based understanding of education. Teaching. You know, it makes sense that Ohio was the first one to implement this method of it, because the Rust Belt used to be very, very good at building things in the factories. But we don't really do that anymore. I mean, we do have factory workers, and my roommate is a factory worker, but that is not the vast majority of us. And also, even our factory work has evolved and should be reformed in the way that the way that we educate people to prepare for it should be reformed. One, teach kids how to read a contract, pay bills, comprehensive sex ed. Yeah, some like important, like teaching you how to like make food, teaching you like what ingredients to buy for food and stuff like that. Teaching you how to pay bills and you know, understanding personal economics should be taught in school. Number two, the Pledge of Allegiance is fucking bizarre. The Pledge of Allegiance is absolutely bizarre and should completely be it should not be a thing that we view as normal. You beat up someone based on the bullshit they do, not based on the race, if it ultimately comes down to physical force. Gender doesn't matter either. Equal rights, equal fights. That's right. If you're a scab, I'm not saying you should do violence to scabs, by the way. That is not something that I would advocate for publicly. Okay? Just so we understand. Our steel industry dried up because they were protected and never innovated. No. Our steel industry dried up because we found out that we could exploit laborers in foreign countries and they could make our shit for cheaper, and we could have them make it for cheaper, send the ship all the goods in from across the world, and it's still cheaper than paying out a union worker. And China was a big part of that. China got a lot of the jobs that our billionaires took overseas because China was developing a centralized economy that allowed for them to produce things on a mass scale to satiate our need for treats. And they ultimately, as far as like an industrial working class, they got a monopoly on it because and it's because we had weak unions. If we had stronger unions, we could have gone on strike to prevent the billionaires from moving all of our jobs to all these other exploitable people, right? And like whenever we moved the jobs to China, it was not great during this time for the Chinese either. This was their development stage where they were making, you know, making things like crazy and just making money where they could. Type of shit. And Japan was forced to innovate to compete, so they innovated for decades while we got more inefficient with no competition. In the end, we lost all our steel jobs. The market always prevails. They innovated and made their steel for cheaper. Thanks for proving my point. Well, that's true, but they had a centralized economy and not. I mean, I think that's why they were far more efficient, personally. Japan was with its 3 different governments that agree on nothing. As someone who is well versed in Japanese culture and sociology, Akron was once one of the most flourishing cities in the country, the rubber capital of the world. Look at it now. Why do you think that is? Yeah, and it's not because immigrants moved in. I'll give you that hint. Detroit was a top city. Now Flint is still without clean water. That's true too. That's another travesty. Anyways, get control of the opaque private school voucher system with runaway costs and use of savings for real. Yeah, because private schools should not be getting public money. I'm sorry, but if you can't compete with the public option, then, you know, then you shouldn't be allowed to operate. Especially because that money is supposed to be going towards the public system. Anyways, that's improving education, lowering the cost of healthcare. Healthcare is too expensive. Ohio families shouldn't have to wonder if they're not going to be able to pay the bills because a family member falls ill, needs surgery, or can't afford the prescriptions. This is true. And tragically, a state known for world-class healthcare institutions is lagging behind the country in most health outcomes. Our life expectancy is 42nd in the nation? That's disgusting. Worse than any other state in the Midwest. That is so vile. In some communities, life expectancy is lower than it is in some of the world's poorest nations, and we are one of the leading states in infant mortality rates. As governor, I will fight to make quality health care in Ohio more affordable and accessible. I don't see a public option here. Amy, where's the public option? We must ensure that every Ohioan has access to basic medical care that doesn't require them to drive hours away to get it. We have to reduce the cost of healthcare by adopting best practices and using the power of the state to ensure that Ohio families don't go bankrupt, getting the medical care they need. Finally, with more than 3 million Ohioans on Medicaid, I will fight against cuts to this life-saving program, whether they're coming from Columbus or Congress. I don't think she has a realistic solution to this at all. And, yeah, I think she's completely flubbed that. The gentrification of Cleveland around the top hospital in the country where all of those steel millionaires used to live back in the day and lived under Freemasonry. I don't know anything about all of that, personally. The more you talk, the more you prove my very first point. You are ignorant of economics. You would understand the world a whole lot better if you educated yourself. Issue after issue, it comes down to basic economics, but your emotion and lack of understanding of basic economics, say something real, say something actual, is clouding your judgment. I am sorry, it's a hardball world. You want it to be the way, one way, but it's the other way. Okay, yeah, don't we all? You said so many words, but you didn't say anything. I need you to give me something here, you know? I'm ignorant of the economics. Okay, I get it. Sure. Bro, this guy's still going on about your emotions. Welcome back, Tobias, bro. Are you in here to see if I'm ready to play Peak yet? I knew a MF would say that infant mortality rates is women using abortion as birth control. Who said that? Who said that? She has ideas with dreams, but no actual means on how to do it. I don't think she has ideas or dreams. And of course she doesn't have the means to do it. Because she's not actually grassroots motivated. I have heard her say nothing about unions yet. So I don't think that she understands economics. I am, by the way, Tobias, I am wrapping it up eventually. I'm finishing going through Amy Acton's policies, positions and stuff. Basic economics and Karl Marx deductions. And yeah, I've literally been reading actual books on the subject. I'm currently reading 2 different books on the subject. Like, I am educating myself, okay? I promise. It's not Heritage Foundation approved economic theory. I will admit that. I'm using abortion as birth control. I have an abortion every week. Oh shit. Marx was a philosopher. He knew jack and shit about economics. Okay, now see, this is where you reveal yourself as somebody who doesn't know anything about fucking anything. You don't know anything about economics. Economics this and economics that. Dude, the grandfather of sociology himself comes into question, and you say he's a philosopher. I mean, you could say what you will about his philosophical and utopian leanings, but, I mean, let's be fucking real here, okay? This is... It's not just a theory. It's a theory in the way that gravity is a theory. Let's say it like that. How about? Throughout his adult life, Marx never had a job. I mean, I don't know about that. I don't think that's true. But okay. I mean, many famous historical writers and influencers, if you will, of the leftist movements throughout history have been members of the petite or otherwise bourgeois, the bourgeoisie. They are members of the bourgeoisie. Class traders is what you would call them. And I don't really care if he had a job or not or whatever. I'm pretty sure he worked as an organizer during the event. I don't want to say anything for certain because I'm not entirely definitive on it. We can look it up though. Karl Marx work history. I know that Friedrich Engels was a factory owner. and he drafted the first copy of the Communist Manifesto. Das Kapital. Okay, he's a writer. Kingdom of Prussia. I didn't know he came from there. I just knew he was German. Okay. Yeah, so he's got a long writing history. Is there, like, work? Like, jobs? I know he worked, I forget where he worked in whenever he escaped Germany to, somewhere in England. I don't remember. I don't fucking know. I don't know every detail about this guy. I can look more into it to find out what he did, but that's aside from the point. Communism is a government structure that includes economics, just like capitalism. That's true. Can I put organizer on my resume? I mean, I don't... Yes. Yes. Yes, you can. Yes. You can do that. Now, you would probably say that, you know... Now, if you put leftist movement organizer, or DSA organizer, or campaign organizer, or whatever in your resume, and you tried to apply for, I don't know, an HVAC business, that probably wouldn't help you get the job. But I mean, organizing is an actual thing that you can do that you can then put on a resume. I mean, yes, you can do that, and that's also a skill that some people look for. So, especially in our future socialist society, we will be looking for that on your resume. If I don't see organizer on your resume, you will not be working with the state with me. So, just saying, get organized now, baby, while you still can. Let's check out building safer communities. Organizer, advocate, researcher are all valid on a resume. Yeah, that's true. And yeah, applying for a leader position, organizing events might look good on a resume. That's what I'm saying, dude. Philosophy degrees are for philosophy professors and Starbucks baristas. So you just don't have any... This is what you need to read up on, Han. This is what you need to read up on. I'll read into the link that you sent earlier about the economics book in one volume, everything you need to know about economics or whatever. I'll read that, and you can read Marx. How about that? The Communist Manifesto is not very long. It's very short. It's meant to be like pamphlet sized. So definitely read the Communist Manifesto, and critically, and really pay attention. Don't just glaze over it. It's very important. Like I said at the very beginning of our conversation, the intersection between sociology and economics is integral to both. I've read Marx. The book's value comes from how much heat it produces to keep me warm when I burn it. Well, that's great and all, but you very clearly didn't fucking read it or pay attention when you did. So I say again, read it, pay attention. Maybe read, I don't know, maybe read Lenin. What's something that you would be interested in? What about, I guess the payment I get for my writing means that that isn't a profession. No, that's, you're doing government fraud, Little Flower Vagabond. You're defrauding the government whenever you get paid for, it's not a real job. You should be working Starbucks barista. You're qualified to be a Starbucks barista. But not a unionized one. Don't unionize. Whatever you do, don't unionize your Starbucks workplace or go on strike, because Starbucks is on strike right now nationally. By the way, Marx was a failed writer. He didn't sell books until after he died. Okay, you could say the same thing about fucking like every famous painter or artist. You could say the same fucking shit. During his life, he mooched off his mom and family and friends. Yeah, Vincent Van Gogh's the first one that came to mind. Incredible stuff. It's unimportant to me that he mooched off his mom. You know, I heard that he lived like a slob. I don't care. I don't care, dude. What he wrote is real as shit. What he wrote is real as shit. Like, I'm sorry, you cannot discount the strides made by Friedrich Engels and Karl Marx with the writing of the Communist Manifesto and Das Kapital and their other writings. You cannot discount the importance of these works on the sociological and economic development of society. Period. Point blank. Okay, Amy Acton, building safer communities. As governor, nothing matters more than keeping Ohioans safe. Everyone deserves to feel and be safe in their communities, no matter where they live across the state. Unfortunately, Republicans in Ohio have defunded public safety for years to pay for tax cuts for Ohio's wealthiest. These cuts have resulted in layoffs, chronic officer shortages, and persistently understaffed first responder units in communities large and small. Okay, the layoffs have not led to chronic officer shortages. Dude, Democrats are such fucking worms. What a fucking worm. As governor, I will rebuild state and local partnerships, fully fund the police and public safety, and ensure that communities again have the public safety resources they need. All right. Governor also has critical tools at her disposal within state government to build safer communities, from safe schools to emergency relief to safe roads and highways to far more transparency in our criminal justice system. I will ensure that we are doing everything in our power to improve safety. Blah, 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 saying nothing. More nothing. However, crime is often a symptom of other community and societal problems. Now, here we go. This right here, by the way, is Marxism. And just so you understand, Han, while we're reading it, this is an implementation of Marxism and the ideas that we learn from works like the Communist Manifesto. Crime is often a symptom of other community and societal problems, and we must work to address the underlying root causes by investing in education and career opportunities in both small towns and large urban centers. Boom. That's a good statement right there. Tackling poverty, providing treatment and other support services for those experiencing mental health and substance abuse disorder issues. We were just talking about this earlier. People who are experiencing mental health and substance abuse disorder issues. It's not about giving them giving the cops more guns or giving them more money for, the training that they don't do. It's about providing actual sociological support to these things. We can see less mental health problems whenever we give free therapy. Give out free therapy, boom, that goes down. Substance abuse. You provide first of all, you want to get like clean clean needle sites. What do they call them? Clean needle sites or whatever, where you can go and do your drugs and be safe, and you don't die that way, right? They have Narcan on hand there at these places. You don't die there, and then that stops people from dying. But then you want to implement, at these places you could give out free food, free water, shelter. These things make people's lives better and can move them away from drug abuse. Simple as. All right, what have you guys been talking about? There are plenty of digital copies I can't burn to keep me warm, but I would never ban it if that is what you're insinuating. I wouldn't imagine, and I'm glad that you wouldn't be a book banner. Digital burning pollutes natural water sources. I'd suggest not doing that, since earlier you mentioned you like breathing clean air. Also, appreciate you don't support banning books. As a libertarian, I have to defend not banning books like Mein Kampf, then I get called a Nazi. I mean, I don't believe in banning Mein Kampf either, and I wouldn't call you a Nazi for that, but if you came out the gate saying, I'm being prosecuted because I love Mein Kampf, I'm sorry, but you're going to look like... most people are going to assume And I know that to assume is to make an ass out of you and me, but also, if you come out, you know, being like, no, don't ban Mein Kampf, you can't do it. It's terrible. I mean, if that's the only thing that you're talking about, people are going to assume things about you. Remember, chat, you can get Narcan for free at your local library or another federal institution. Let's go, Little Flower Vagabond. Shout out. I don't think anyone believes in banning Mein Kampf. Reading a piece of history like that doesn't mean you're a Nazi. Right. Well, the same people who say that we're trying to ban books like Mein Kampf or whatever the fuck else are the same people who say that tearing down statues of slave owners in communities that are primarily black communities, they'll say that like tearing down those statues or like spray painting them or destroying them is erasing history. Okay, dude. Sure. Whatever the fuck. Yeah. You're right. You're right, man. You're so right. I'll throw a bone. Eugenics isn't bad at all. Okay, we're going to have to talk about this later. You're going to need to can that for now. I mean, at least move the statues somewhere else. Yeah, put them in a museum after. Well, here's my idea. For statues, we should be able to pull them down with ropes and chains. Pull them down. And then once they're broken at the ankles and we have painted or we have dumped red paint all over them and, you know, as a expression of our free speech and as an expression of the countless gallons of blood that they spilt in their demonic lifetimes, then we can put that in a museum. Okay. I mean, that's just my personal opinion, and that's my emotional opinion too. That's fueled by my emotions right there. And I personally think that this is a good idea for not only satiating the masses, but also, you know, I think it would feel good. I just think it would feel good. I think I would feel good to destroy the statue of George Washington or whatever. Please look into Comfort Woman statues in your free time. Okay, I will. I'll add it to my list. During the Black Lives Matter riots, the rioters defaced a monument to the 54th Massachusetts, a civil war made up of black soldiers. I don't know about that specific instance, and I don't really care. Moving on. We also undertake common sense reforms to reduce the scourge of gun violence. Common sense reforms to reduce the scourge of gun violence. I wonder what that means exactly. Because I would assume that it's a little bit less than common sense, what she'll actually push for. But we'll see. I also don't see it being a very popular, gun reform being a very popular thing in Ohio. So I'm not really going to get on her too much for that, I guess. Ensuring reproductive freedom, for now anyways. Ensuring reproductive freedom. Every Ohioan deserves the right to make their own reproductive healthcare decisions, free from government interference, plain and simple. As governor, I will protect reproductive freedom so that every woman can access safe, legal abortion care, contraception, fertility treatments, and miscarriage care. Okay. As a doctor, I trust women in consultation with their healthcare providers to make decisions about their own bodies, not politicians, and Ohioans have made clear that they do too. As governor, I will stand up to the attacks from politicians against our fundamental freedoms and continue to protect abortion access. Yeah, that seems like a decent statement. Aging in place. What is this? As more Ohioans enter their golden years, we need to make sure that they are doing so with dignity and support. This is a very big problem that I've been seeing in my daily life. Ohio's senior population is expected to top 3 million in the next few years. We have the chance to make Ohio a leader in elder care. Eric and I have had to balance the demands of caring for aging family members while raising children, and we understand how difficult this is for working families. My opponent's pals in Congress voted overwhelmingly to cut Medicaid benefits for home and community-based services. But I believe that we need to support families and caregivers as they help our seniors age in place at home. We can't sit idly by. We must invest in career pathways and training for our long-term care force, who staff assisted living and nursing home facilities to keep up with the greater demand as Ohioans age. Yeah, that seems like pretty good too. I like that. Overall, I give Amy Acton a 4 out of 10. Yeah, shape up, Democrats, because you suck. Shape up, because there's very few things that I like about you. Okay? And right now, I'm only advocating for Amy Acton to win the governor race because Vivek Ramaswamy is of the devil. As we know, most Republicans are of the devil. Most Democrats are too. But the simple fact is that Vivek Ramaswamy is the fucking devil. And he will fucking kill you for a new TV, if he could. Let's see. Defend equality with a gun. I actually have been talking with Ethan about this. We've been having some good debates on guns, specifically, and me and Ethan still have a pretty good common understanding among each other, but I wanted to have a conversation with him and you, actually, at some point about guns and stuff. And, yeah, mainly talking about, like, Black Panther style protection of your communities and the importance of being armed on the left long term is also something that someone who I follow, Michael from Pennsylvania, Mike from PA, Mike Frumpa, you guys know him, you love him. Central Committee streams on Twitch. He's been talking a lot recently about arming the left as well. So I'm kind of like, but I'm usually like very, you know, anti-gun. I think that statistically having a gun makes you less safe. And I mean, that is true. But I wonder about, I want to have a conversation with you and others who are pro arming, you know, the population about this. I think it would be a really interesting conversation, and I really want to get to the bottom of, you know, what effectively we should do about this. She fucked up in just saying women. Oh, that's true, she did. America had no gun control laws until the slaves were freed. Gun laws are racist. Oh my god, bro. Everything is racist now with this guy. Han. Not everything is racism. It is a lot of things, and we are in America, a very racist country, and a very, very racist country historically. But it's not all racism. TVs didn't come out until slaves were freed. TVs are racist. See, this is why we need Tobias Bra in here. We're off. No, fuck the elders. Tobias, bro, you need to sit this one out. Elder abuse needs to be addressed, yeah, but care more about children. Yes, but I mean, yeah, I mean, we could argue that, but I refuse to allow any demographic in Ohio to be kicked to the curb. I simply, as a leftist, I simply deny that. I don't believe in providing health care to the children, the minorities, the women, but not old people. I disagree with that. I don't believe in the thing is all of the conservative anti-progressive Ohioans, I want them to have health care. I want them to have health care. And I'm going to force them to have free health care. You know, that is my mission statement. Old people who are conservative, I want them to get their Social Security benefits to the fullest extent of the law. That's what I want. I think it's a good socio-economic policy. Because it also takes the burden off of their families as well. That's, you know, even if you don't care about the old people, you should care about their families, because that's you or your parents, and then you once your parents get old. You think the right to bear arms is racist? When you defended the Constitution earlier, or am I misunderstanding? Libertarians don't typically have like a very well-rounded worldview that's centered on like any particular ideas. It's kind of just like this vibe and this vibe and this vibe, and then they just kind of make it all work, you know? And anytime it doesn't quite work, they just say, it'll even out in the market. Surely. You're very anti-gun, I'm surprised. Clarify then, please. Any race can be racist. Yeah, but like, we don't need to get into what is white people right now. Gun laws are bad. Just so you know, I don't know if you've ever heard this, but the U.S. is the only country where this ever happens. I don't want to say ever, but it by and large happens in America because we have more guns per capita. I mean, we should have comprehensive gun reform. You should not be allowed to have a firearm if you do not qualify. And by qualify, I mean you need to undergo rigorous training and validation, like a test, right? That you are trained to properly handle these tools of death and destruction, okay? You need to prove that you will not allow this tool to end up in the hands of anyone who is not also licensed, right? This is very important stuff. Also, certain attachments, I think, should probably be illegal because they allow for mass killings to be even larger. We need to mitigate the problem where it is. Yeah. That's kind of where I stand right now on it. Like someone should not be able to falsely claim self-defense, or guns are valid for self-defense. I would not ask for your point. Guns are valid for self-defense. So how? California banned guns when the Black Panthers showed up at the State House armed. You are racist. My God, quit with this shit, dude. Getting annoying. Gun laws originated to keep guns from black people. I would love to see, I actually have been meaning to read things from black authors, primarily Black Panthers, about this. So this might be a blind spot for me. You know what? I'm racist. You figured it out. I'm racist. Where were you January 6th? Not sure, but I know my cell phone was at home. Dude, there ain't no way. You were not at the Capitol. You did not go from Chicago to the Capitol. Is that where you said? I think you said you're from Chicago. Okay, I actually am really curious. I was in my mom's living room, for the record, January 6th. Just so everybody knows where I was on January 6th. I was in my mom's living room watching it all unfold on the TV. And I did predict that it would happen. So, just saying. Just saying. Oh, I can't choose the state. Oh, that's annoying. TVs are racist. TVs didn't come out until slaves were freed. TVs are racist. It's a good one. It's a pretty good one. See, this is why we need Tobias Bra in here. No, fuck the elders. Tobias Bra, you need to sit this one out. I like how I said this is why we need Tobias Bra in here, and immediately said that he needs to sit it out. That's my... that should be my Tobias bruh policy. I am a libertarian. Why would I care about Donald Trump? Okay, so we have a libertarian who doesn't like Donald Trump. That's really interesting. You predicted January 6th like Hassan predicted Russia wouldn't invade Ukraine. Shut the fuck up. That is not true because Hassan was wrong and I was right. I did predict January 6th and I was right. Okay. Yeah, why don't you don't care about Donald Trump? Like, you don't like him or you don't hate him or what? Like, I would assume that you would be fond of him. Did you even see my clip? No, what was your clip? You haven't posted a clip in a while. No clips. No clips. No clips. This is what it's like arguing with leftists. Who is this?
To free them from the cult. No, you don't understand. You don't understand, dude. No one here is suffering. We're here because we're suffering.
What?
To free them from the cult. No, you don't understand. You don't understand, dude. No one here is suffering. We're here because we're suffering.
I don't even know what you meant by that, but cool. Campaign where? I think I watched this. What the fuck is a creative solution? You fucking scumbag. I did watch this. I like it. It's a good one. It's good. I'm probably gonna go back through all my coverage today and clip some stuff. Does he really not understand the clip? Dude, it's like 3 seconds long, and he says
to free them from the cult. No, you don't understand.
To free them from the cult. No, you don't understand.
You don't understand, dude. No one here is suffering. We're
no one here is suffering. We're here because we're suffering. What the fuck is it supposed to mean? I'm sorry. It just doesn't make any sense. How long is it? It's 7 seconds long. It's like a partial sentence. What am I supposed to read? It was the European Jews in large part who suffered the Holocaust. Wow. Really good good clip. It's only 7 seconds long. There's not enough context for me to even know what is happening. Oh, you must have watched when I was booted by a crowd. Oh, that could have been it. We're not here because we are suffering. We are here because we are suffering. No. That's not what he said. I think I'm understanding it now. That's not what he said. He said, we're not here suffering. We are here because we are suffering. I assume it's in response to somebody saying that by going out and protesting, you're not doing anything but making yourself angry, or you're just hurting yourself because you're not making money or some shit, some stupid shit. And so he's saying we are not out here suffering, even if maybe we are. Maybe it's cold out when we're protesting or whatever. But we're not here suffering. We're here because we are suffering. I think it makes perfect sense if that's what's happening. I'm trying to piece together the missing links here. Context for clips is usually important. Did you... Bruh, you cannot out me like this. You cannot out me. Someone clip that. You clip it. You can clip. Or are you on mobile? If you try clipping, good luck. But anyways, we've been going for 3.5 hours now. It has been an awesome stream so far. Thank you to Han and Little Flower Vagabond for fueling the chatter throughout the whole thing, and thank you for Tobias bruh for still being here. I hope. I got enough lefties being dumb clips. Well, you could have sent me a good one, but apparently you only clip them out of context, which is very interesting. But I've appreciated. Thank you, Han, for having civil discussions with us here. Obviously, you can tell that even me and Flower Vagabond are not aligned on many things. And so, I think that this could be a really good platform for education and for conversations. And I'm excited to get better at staying on topic. I think that would be good if I could stay on topic better. I didn't even get to talk about the American Treatlerite that I wanted to talk about, but that's okay. We got all the way through Vivek Ramaswamy and Amy Acton's platforms, their main pages. We went through all their proposed issues, and so I think that was pretty productive. And now that I have a better idea of them individually with their campaigns, I think that next time I'll have more to say after doing some more, doing a little bit more independent research on my own. We have an incoming ad break in 1 minute. I'm going to end it by then, though. But yeah, so thank you all for watching. I hope everybody had a wonderful time. I hope everybody has a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, and a good night. And if I never see you again, have a good life. Wow, okay, my function on that command doesn't work. I'll fix that. Oh. I was wondering what the time was all about. Thank you, chat and lurkers. Yes, thank you to the chat and thank you to the lurkers. Yeah, I'm excited to do more streams like this. We're either going to be bi-weekly or we're going to go to weekly with this. At least 2 hours. Sorry, that might have been a little bit loud. But that's all I got for you. Bye, everybody. Join the Discord, and let's watch this.
Content I got recommended on Twitter.
I wonder if this retarded boomer has fixed his TTS yet. I doubt this extra chromosome having mental midget has the mental capacity to actually learn something so difficult any 8-year child could do. Boss could fuck up a 1-car funeral. Boss is one ass fucking away from being PP guy's bitch. Barry McCockiner.
You know I hate you, hand fixer. Do you know I hate you so much? Have I told you this before?
Boss hates me.
I think I might have told you this.
Well, I don't hate you, Han. Anyways, yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys later. I'll play you out now.